Good evening everybody. I hope you're having a lovely Sunday evening so far. Let's swap into the regular scene and we're in Dalaran at the moment. Good evening one and all. I hope you're having a lovely evening so far. Welcome to my Sunday night stream. For those that don't know, my name is Samadan and we're going to be doing some gold making today, hopefully. I think I am soft. Is that the volume is down a little bit perhaps? I'm not quite sure. Let me just adjust the microphone a little bit because I did notice that it was a little bit different. The microphone. Oops, sorry, the microphone. But good evening, Mushy, Andy, and Saxon Girl, Farmer True, and Anna Delias, and Right One Too, and Qyune. Oh, it went up a lot, did it? Okay, I might have to double check my microphone settings. I'll keep it here for the moment just to make sure it's all okay. I know I'll just have a double check of the settings. Let me just go into my properties, just make sure all my filters and things are on. I do have gain and EQ on at the moment, so those should be all fine. Hopefully. You had to turn your volume right up as well. Okay. You were just watching my VOD. Okay, Mr. December. Good to have you here on the live show. Hope you're doing well. Greetings from Argentina. Damianth, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Nice to finally meet you live. Oh, thank you very much, Salty Epic Sauce. Thank you very much. Watch my vids all the time. Amazing stuff. Keep up the great work. Oh, thank you very much. It's extremely kind of you. I wonder if there's been some Windows settings, but excuse me, some Windows settings that's changed my microphone settings. Let me just up the gain and then tell me if it's gone a bit too much. Let me just have a quick check. Let's go up. I don't want to go too high. I'm just watching the peak levels here. Excuse me, that doesn't help having a croaky voice. Right, okay. If that's any better, let me know. I'll just up to the gain a little notch. So hopefully that should be a little bit better. But hope everyone's good. Getting ready for the Christmas spirit. It's not long now. I've got our Christmas tree is up behind me on the monitor there. Elise and John Levy, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Glad to be free to watch live this week. Oh, excellent, Saxon Girl. Last day off until Christmas. Oh, fantastic. I've got another week left in work and then I've got 2 weeks off for Christmas and I'm really, really looking forward to it. And yes, Mushy, we will have at some point a Beard Bauble stream, so that's something to look forward to. All depends on how loud the game is with no music. Well, I've got a little bit of background Dalaran music on at the moment, so that should be fairly unobtrusive at the moment. But we'll go through and I'll just go and repost some of my mails whilst we wait for the Wowhead blog to come along live. Let me just double check, see if it's gone on yet, and we'll have a look there. Nothing as of yet, so I'll keep checking that in a moment, and that should all work fine. Slim Grumps, good evening to you. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. And Girl Goblin, how are you? And just call me Tessa. Thank you all for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. And Oreo, wherever he is. Oreo is somewhere upstairs, last I saw. He may come down, hopefully. When he does, I'll turn the camera on, certainly, for him. Yep, off Christmas Day through the 2nd. Oh, fantastic. Have to wait till Harvey gets home till you get your decks go up. Yeah, we did it yesterday. Ours came up. We usually wait until after we've had all our family birthdays, and then we focus on Christmas from here on in. But yes, we're definitely looking forward to spending Christmas with the family this time. It's going to be most excellent, having some decent chunk of time off, certainly. No trees here, you have 12 at work, wow. Had a rough week, your dad fell, 70, oh no, and broke his hip, oh even worse. I hope it's all on the mend, Mushy, sorry to hear that. That's a tough thing to go through at that age. Hips can be quite fragile things. But hopefully he's all on the mend. touch wood. I'll just go through, and I've got a lot of expires that I haven't dealt with here at the moment. So I'll just go and deal with these and get these on, and then we'll check on the Wowhead blog in a moment, see if that's gone live. But now I've got a lot of stuff here that needs to be sorted out. It's not going to sell if it's not on the auction house, so we'll do that lot first. Hip's on the mend. Okay, that's good here, but he has MS, and his sugar was 25 at the ER, and he has arrhythmia, so we are slightly worried. Yeah, I can imagine you are. Well, hope it all works out, Mushy. Our thoughts are with you. And Nilly, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. Oh, my thing's just gone orange. Hopefully I haven't dropped any frames there. And let me just check my stream health. It went a little orange on me there. Let me just have a look on this side. Yeah, it does seem to be alright at the moment. Bitrate must have been just OBS hiccup, I think. Okay, seems to be alright at the moment. Keep an eye on that one. Right, so let's just go through and we'll just check our auctions whilst we're here, get these back on. Make sure that's full up now, so we'll go and post all this lot on. And we'll post this on and run a post scan here. Clever Unicorn, love the name. I have a problem when doing my auctioning posting scan with various groups. When there is auctions of an item, TSM will post your item at normal prices instead of undercutting. Do you have an idea why it does that? When there is an auction of an item, TSM will post at normal price instead of undercutting. Is that because the normal price, are there any other auctions that are on that price? So I've got a couple of things here, like we have Mark of the Frost Wolf. TSM is telling me posting at normal price. That's because there are no other auctions on. If you look at the TSM tooltip there, it says TSM auction database, 0 auctions on. So I'm the only person selling it. Is that what you mean? As opposed to undercutting, which is on something like the Ghostly Spell thread, when it says there's 4 auctions on. Something like that, perhaps. So Andos, thank you very much for the cheer. Very kind of you. Hope you're doing well. Could you have match stack size on, or because the item with a suffix and you don't have ignore enchants on? Those are also 2 very useful points as well, going further into it. Yeah, match stack size would be in your... Let me just post this lot on and then I can have a look at that for you. Depending on your posting operation, we'll go through here and post this lot on, then I'll go to the TSM settings and we'll have a look at that. So going through to there and go onto here, so onto our groups. Say for cooking, let's do one of these, Captain's Feast. And so Bountiful Captain's Feast in 10s, I believe I've got match stack size on this. No, I haven't actually. I've got it turned off here. So match stack size, if it's on, it'll be like that. And it's off, it's like that. That could be an option. How do I post so fast? I have it bound to the scroll wheel macro. So basically I hold control down and spin the scroll wheel. So it's in the settings. You can set that up automatically in TSM. Under settings, under macros. I use the default here with control key held down and down, either up or down. Will do either cancels, buyouts, craft next, post or destroy. So it's a multi-functioning macro. And so you just click update existing macro or create macro if you haven't done it already. And then when I go on to say, let's open up some more mail and we'll go through and we'll post this over. We'll have a look. But when below min, post at normal, or when above maximum, post at normal. Those are the chances too. Yes, those are also another good too, Mushy. So in your settings for your groups, let's go through here under a group. So let's look at the feast again. Let's look at the 10s. So under the posting operations here, so your set minimum price is this. When below minimum, I've got it set to ignore auctions below minimum, but you could have it set to post at normal price. And the same with the maximum price. When above maximum, I've got it set at post at maximum price, but it's possible to have it set at post at normal price. I think that's the default actually. That's the main thing. Mr. Dismember TV keeps beating me to the answers. Aquaplex, what happened to Wallon? Used to be in here all the time. I don't see his YouTube videos anymore. I don't recognise the name Wallon. Could they have gone by a different name? Used to be in here all the time. I don't see his YouTube videos anymore. I don't recognise the name actually. Let me just open up all of these. Maybe I knew them by a different name perhaps. Many streamers change name. Yes, that does happen quite often. I'll go through, post all of those. No, we'll let that go through another. I've got another few mails coming through here, so I'll wait for that to come through. And then we'll have some sales coming through, hopefully at the end of this. I did fairly aggressive reset on enchants last week, on reset day. So hopefully we'll get a few sales through from that. We've filled up now, but we do have a little bit of gold there. So let's post up this lot. So run a post scan on that. Had a bunch of videos on TSM and was often in here. Right, okay. I'm trying to recall the name. People sometimes just get busy lives or they give up for a number of reasons. I don't know specifically in his case. And good evening, Annette. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're having a lovely evening so far. Let me just check to see how we're doing on the Wowhead situation. Let me just double check. Nothing as yet. Keep an eye on that. There we go. And Black Devil, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're having a lovely evening so far. Hope I'm the same. I am indeed. And Zanzaful, thank you also for stopping by. Hope you're having a lovely evening so far. We're just going through and we're going to post everything on at the moment. So using my scroll wheel that we talked about earlier, literally I'm just holding control down and keeping the mouse cursor off of this main screen. So as long as it's not within the window of the auction house, it will work. But we'll go through there and post everything on. I'm not really paying much attention to the prices at the moment. So let's just run through the last few expires. Do have a few sales here. We'll look at that in more detail in a moment. But we'll just post the rest of this lot on. Adriana, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. And thank you, Black Devils, for stopping by. Hope your Sunday is turning out to be a good one so far. I'm pretty sure it was well on, but not 100%. You took a break from WoW. When you came back, all his videos were gone. That's interesting. Normally when people normally do at least keep their videos on, unless there's a specific reason. Sometimes they don't, obviously. That's quite expensive. Red linen vest for 13,000 gold. It'll be interesting to see if that sells. Look at the difference there of the region market value being 703 and DB market being 13,000. I'm not so sure. It's more like sort of a few hundred would be good for a shirt of that kind, but you never know. It's worth a try, if nothing else. You will notice, in fact, my gold is actually really low at the moment, 286,000. That's because I spent a lot of gold recently on buying Shadowlands. I bought enough tokens to buy the Epic Edition, and then I used my 120 boost to get Nadamas, my Horde anti-Samadan, up to 120, because my son has just recently got 120 himself, and he's on the Horde side. So we wanted to play together, and so I now have another 120 to make use of for gold making, which is going to be interesting. How many auctions do I have up? On Samadan, we can have a look here. My auctions, I've currently got 458 with a value of just over a million, 1.1 million gold, if it all sold. But obviously that won't all sell, but it's still very nice to have on. Hope he didn't pass away. I do hope so too, Aquaflex. If anyone does find out, feel free to message me. How much gold did that cost you? You planned to do that too. So it cost me, I think it was about 1.8 million in total, with the current prices, but it was definitely worth it. But I have kind of scraped the bottom of my gold resources. If we look at my situation now on my graph, we're right down here on all characters. We're not exactly at 0. It's telling me 673,000 at the moment, so we're actually under 1 million. I'd like to get that back up as quickly as possible, if possible. Gold, how are you? Good evening to you. And Darkwing, test one, evening bearded Goldmaker chat and minions. Thank you, Darkwing. That's quite an entrance. Hope you're doing well. Oh, is it up? Oh, excellent. Thank you. Just call me Tessa. We'll have a look at that, and we'll go over and discuss everything that's on there. Been quite an interesting one this week. So let's go on over. Oh, let me just also change. That's very quick of you, actually. Literally 1 minute up. Let me change my command so that that works for in the stream. So I'll go into my commands under Wowhead. And let me see if I can find this. Okay, my stream's gone red again. Was that actually lost connection? No, I haven't. I've still got connection. It does seem to be going a little bit. It does look like it might have dropped the stream. Let me just have a look in a moment. Hold on. Let me paste that in. Submit that. My stream is telling me it's red. It's definitely dropped frames. It's all red on OBS at the moment. But fingers crossed we're coming green again now, according to OBS. So we should be alright. Okay. That's I think, touch wood, no F's in chat. I think we survived that one. What do I miss? Everyone coming in here. The real Qyune, do I have a current guide and upload of my TSM operations? I do have all my operations available on my paste bin. Just type that in. So my paste bin is that, and let's check the link out for the Wowhead blog. That should be also up. So things we are talking about. There we go. That's all working. So we can go and talk about that in a moment. Now's a good time actually. Now that I posted all my auctions on, so I'll just wait here a moment, and then we'll bring the economy tab on over, and then we can have a look at this at the same time. Let me just reorganize my window so I can see everything. Delicious, how are you? I'm streaming with performance mode on. I can't remember my exact settings that I have on here. It's usually been very good. I'd have to go into my actual OBS settings. But I use my GPU for the encoding usually, and it's pretty good on the whole. So maybe I'm not sure. Let's have a look. I don't want to fiddle with the settings too much whilst I'm on the stream, but we'll go through the Wowhead blog. And it does seem to have dropped again. Yeah, it's gone red, and I don't know if this is an OBS thing that side. Let me just check my other window. What I could do actually, as I'm checking my stream as it is at the moment. So according to Twitch, the stream, the bit rate and everything is excellent. So it might be OBS that's having issues here. If it is dropping every now and again, what I'll do is I'll just minimize things a little bit here. So I'm going to turn off that. I'm going to turn off my Discord. Just close off a little bit, a couple of windows here. So hopefully that should minimize the amount of stuff I've got going on at any one time. But there we are. In Streamlabs OBS, you right-click on the right-hand side of the screen and enter performance on. Alright, I don't have the Streamlabs OBS one, but it's good to see you as well, Derplicious. I saw you in Qyune stream earlier, and we will be talking about Qyune because we do have him featured in the blog this week, because we're doing a case study on his gold making methods, and it's incredibly interesting watching how he's made his first million already in his aim for the Brutasaur. So we'll go through and we'll just talk about all the various things that have been going on with the gold making community and a few other ideas that I've thrown into the hat. And Stuffo Pixie, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. When your buddy was streaming the other day, he was having a problem with the stutters. Turned out he needed to run OBS with Administrator. Interesting. I've not had that issue yet myself, but you never know. You never know when there's a Windows update or something like that that completely changes everything. The same with microphone levels and things like that. Love some insight into the restocking feature of TSM4. You can use that with queuing items, making shopping lists. Yes, that's very useful for when it comes to restocking your crafts. I do have a guide series on that. I think it's number 3 or 4 in the series on my YouTube videos. If you look at that, that's those guides to get started in TSM. There's one video specifically that talks about professions and crafting and restocking in itself. So Pixie, hi Samadan, hey everyone, how are you? Thanks for coming in. Tell Qyune to say his name, say his name 3 more times out loud, and we can get Qyune in. Did anyone go into Qyune's stream yesterday? I know he did a really long one, like a 16-hour ones. But we'll go through and we'll talk through the rest of the book, because he's down at the bottom bit. So we'll go through and talk about things that are coming up with the Wowhead blog this week. So, starting off with, as of tomorrow, the Feast of Winter Veil is with us. So that could be a very interesting thing to look into. I don't know if there's any changes in the 2019 version, but there's obviously things like the grumpling you can get, and looking at the tailoring patterns and the leather working patterns. There's lots there. Good evening, Gumdrops. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. How's your week been? Are you missing WoW yet? Please say you are. Or is it all Overwatch and other games now? It's pretty good. Items are not on the auction house. I think it was long. Got to bed like 11 PM GMT. Wow, okay, that was a long one. It is pretty poorly. Soon items are not on the auction house. Which ones, Mushy, are actually not going to be on? Blizzard retiring pets and mounts again. That'll have some impact on the token prices. Which ones are getting retired, Darkwing? No Oreo Cam, unfortunately. Oreo's not come down and joined us yet. Hopefully he will soon. Would be nice. You lose more often the pet battles than you make it. Ah, right, okay. Did you get the leveling tokens you spoke of? Oh, that was on Qyune stream, was it? Okay. So yeah, it's going to be interesting what's going to be new for the Feast of Winter Veil. I always notice that the price of small eggs tends to spike around this sort of time. So if you do have some, you might be able to collect a few up and post them on for a higher price, because everyone seems to be after their eggnog and obviously getting their festive outfits ready. So if you are a tailor or a leather worker, look to getting your winter clothes and your winter boots on. They're not massive profits. They're quite cheap to make, but it's still fun to make, and it's nice to have these seasonal things that we can put in. Oh, if stuff is missing on the auction house completely for 2 weeks, it just starts to fail and you have to set the prices. Do you use DB Region, or is that just from using DB Market? You did a bit of farming of the small eggs. to post tomorrow. That's a good idea, Adriana. I always find I looked on the Undermine journal for the prices of them earlier, so I'll have a look. There we go. So on Shadow Song, they do spike every now and again as someone seems to reset the price of them. Shotter, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. And Lawrence Dreamer, thank you also for the follow. Hope you're doing well. So current price of small eggs, you can see here, 89 gold. So someone's already spiked them right up high. So if you don't have any on, or you do have some in your bank, now's the time to maybe look and see if you can get some on, because obviously with Winter's Veil just tomorrow, it tends to spike now and again. Looking at this, sometimes quite cheap, obviously, but you look at the ramp up here towards Christmas, and then the decline here after that, and then there's a big spike here. I wonder if that's around Children's Week, and there's some more cooking recipes that use it there, like the chocolate cake. That could be useful at that point. But yes, it definitely seems to have a big spike around here. There's a big amount of quantity there as well. Look at that, 252,000. We just sold to Mechdale's Big Mech, so that's a good start to the evening. The sales are coming in. That's always good to know. So yeah, it's going to be interesting with the Winter Veil. I don't know if there's anything new coming as of tomorrow. We'll find out tomorrow, and then I'll adjust the article accordingly once we've had that. Kapalathor, good evening to you. You found a bunch of cheap ones, decided to grab them. Good idea, Zanzaful. Might be a... don't raise in value, just use them. Exactly. You can make yourself some eggnog and have some happy Christmas times with your friends. It's not massive in terms of sales, but you never know. If you can get a good volume of them, that's definitely useful. So moving on to the next thing, I did find out, as we saw here on the Undermine journal, when you go back onto the main thing, so the Blizzard API will no longer include seller information. So they've decided to remove this completely on the API in terms of like the name data that shows the player's name, so you'll no longer be able to access it. Now this is something we've not really had access to on the EU side since the data laws changed here, but it's happening on the NA side as well now. So the Undermine journal have taken the proactive stance of just removing it already, and so you no longer have the seller information across the board. So that's going to be interesting for those that do use the seller data on something like the Undermine journal to sort of like keep an eye on your competition or things like that. Then it's going to be interesting because that's no longer going to be a case. See you, Skips. Thank you very much for the follow. And what else did I miss on here? Don't think either. There's nothing new last year, but who knows? Exactly, you never know. A good change, honestly, in your opinion. I don't mind it. I mean, I'm all for privacy. I mean, it was always there and identifiable, but then this isn't high-tech security. This is a game with avatar data, so there's not really any personal identifiable information on here. Shout out to GDPR. I'm not sure what that means there, Mr. Dismember. So that's just NA, so that'll be going in TSM2. Yes, I imagine it will, Mushy, because you could do it in TSM you could search for particular sellers under the TSM website, but that will be gone as well because they'll no longer be able to actually access that data. Price for a small egg is just over 1 gold on your server. Interesting. Have a look at the Undermine journal. See what the average is for small eggs for you. And there's always an option there. I mean, 89 I think is ridiculously high. I've never seen them that high before. Chalix, can you maybe buy me WoW? Really want to get classic, but have a lot of financial problems. I would love to. Unfortunately, I've literally just used up a lot of my gold already in buying up Shadowlands, the expansion. So I really have very little gold left at the moment. But thank you for stopping by. If as a alternative we can offer you some methods for making gold, then definitely you've come to the right place. You want to see the names for reporting not fair bots on the auction house. I understand that point of view, Lizard, and it's something we talked about with Mushy as well last week, and that is the one reason I see a lot of people. I think I saw Persephone on her Twitter say that she does the same for reporting bots, being able to see sort of like shady activity. Well, you could see when people would post and what they would post, which you could use then. Use to see when people are online and tells you whether they are PC or not. Yes, exactly. Your eggs are at 25. Okay, Bonar, interesting. 100 gold for small eggs for you, right one too. Okay, it does seem to be a highly fluctuating price. I don't know if I have any on me at the moment. I'm sure I probably have. Let's just have a little look. I'm sure that's the sort of thing I've been saving up whenever I've had some. Let me just have a quick look. Cooked food. There we go. We've got 21 on me at the moment. 21 in the guild vault. I sold one 501 days ago for 2 gold, and I purchased 15 for 8 gold. So there's definitely an option there. We can maybe just flip things over. Definitely. Maybe you need to buy the 1 gold ones. Well, give it a go. You might be able to make something. It depends how much demand there is as of tomorrow, really. Maybe you can see in-game who the seller is. You can always add people on as friends, and you can see when they're online or offline. That also works. Yeah, you still have the seller info in-game, yes. I mean, what would be nice is if they could change the social tab, so you could add a few people on and sort of categorize them in certain groups, like have a look and see which ones are which. Just a way of being able to organise all your different friends lists. That would be useful, because mine's a mess at the moment, definitely. And I know TSM 3 used to have the function where you could add friend onto the seller ID, but obviously there's not much point adding that back in at this stage for TSM 4, because as of 8.3 it's all going to change anyway. Will you still see it with the revamp? Yes, because everything's going to be bunched up together. You can kind of see names in the 8.3 auction house when multiple ones are put on, but you can't exactly see as much granular data as I would possibly like. Hello Octoberly, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by. And of the materials, you can't. Did you see a stack of like 1,000,000, and you just decide how many you want? You might buy 100 of 10 people if you buy 1,000. Yes, exactly. And Sushi, thank you very much for the follow as well. You come highly recommended. Oh, that's very kind of you to say so. Well, thanks for stopping by. I've seen you on Twitter, so it's good to have you here on the live stream. I'm really intrigued by the new system. I am as well, GameCatCat. It's going to be very interesting, just to see how the whole auction house operates. There's going to be loads of people, hopefully, touch wood, coming back to the auction house in 8.3, and hopefully a lot more people using the auction house, both buying and selling. So it's going to be interesting times. Doing emissaries on your 2 multibox teams, fishing on 8 toons is difficult. Wow, that's mass fishing indeed, definitely. All right, let's go back to the blog as to where I was at. So yes, this is disappearing. So it'll be interesting to see whether people think this is a good thing or a bad thing. There does seem to be mixed opinions for sure. Oh, Gumdrops, thank you for gifting a sub to GameCatCat. That's incredibly kind of you. And congratulations, GameCatCat. You're now a proud owner of all the Samadan emotes, including the Oreo one. So thank you very much, Gumdrops. That's really kind of you. And thank you for the emotes that you've also shared as well. Oh, this is coming through as well. Commander Bond, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Look at all those lovely emotes in the chat. Thank you all. Fantastic. Very nice of you. And Okay, so the next thing I was thinking about, Sephorium, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you in a long time. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by. So looking at, I was thinking about this. I was thinking ahead, like with the Winter's Veil coming in, and I was thinking about 8.3 in the auction house and everything, and I was thinking, okay, well, what's everyone doing for their preparation for 8.3? Are people stockpiling materials, or are they just carrying on selling? It was an interesting talking point, so I thought I'd just throw in some ideas as to what might be good suggestions to think about selling. So I split it up into a few different sections as to what's coming in 8.3 and what we could possibly look to do from a gold making perspective and making some gold. Shasburger, thank you very much for the follow. And Qyune also, thank you for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Very busy year at work for you. Well, it's good to have you here. I hope work has settled down for you now. And Zanzaful, thank you very much for the host. That's very kind of you. All the love things you have. Oh, that's fantastic. They're all pretty cool. You notice a lot more action on the auction house already. That's very interesting. I'm really intrigued. I mean, obviously the holiday season's coming up, so maybe more people are coming back and are intrigued about things. I know it seems to be that a few people have come back specifically for the Brutal Mount to at least try and earn some gold. So that's going to be interesting as well, how that changes with 8.3 in the new auction house. And a lot of stuff is running out of supply as well, so it might be a good time to turn around and farm a few things, perhaps, depending on how much you enjoy farming, of course. So looking at allied races, obviously we've got the Volpera and the Mechanomes coming in 8.3, as well as all of the Death Knight changes and things like that. So I thought about sort of the spreadsheets you can get from the leveling ones, and this is I've used to do all my enchants in the past. So you look at these spreadsheets; these are the kind of commonly used for leveling. Let me just make this a little bit smaller so we can see a bit more of the details. Where are all the tabs? We need to just make that a bit bigger here. And now we're going to need to make that much bigger. There we go. So looking at the recommended enchants to put on things like your paladin at various specs, and looking at all these various enchants that you can have, and I use this as my main list for enchant selling over the last year, and I put on here all the ones that have sold particularly well for me, and then just gone through like Earth and Vitality, Glorious Stats, Gift of Haste, Gift of Versatility, Crusader, and Elemental Force being by far the best one that sells at the moment. These are good levelling enchants, so if you are thinking of supplying the people of 8.3 with some decent levelling enchants, this is possibly a route to look into. Leatherworking mats are non-existent on your server. Can't wait to get Volpera. You have one from you looked on her stream, and once again you've been given a gift. Oh, that's a nice one. I like that one. Maybe long boy grinding. Yes, exactly. Material prices going up. Less bots and multi-boxes. It seems it could be. Although I think people are getting into the trend of multi-boxing. I have seen it mentioned quite a lot in recent sort of months. Your Tide Spray on auction house. Only a few stacks of 200 at 4 gold. Yeah, that's not a lot really. I mean, 4 gold's a reasonable price. I have been able to get a fair amount of Tide Spray myself so far. I'm trying to stock up a little bit at least, as much as I can. 350 Expulsum and 150 used for the Veiled. So you've got a stock of both now. That's a very good position to be in, definitely. The first person to say your name right on the first try in your entire life. Oh, that's complete fluke, I'm sure. If I get it wrong the second time, then we know it was a fluke. Shasburger, if that's correct. I think I got that right. And Curb, how are you? Just want to point out how the gold making community is becoming. You love how the YouTube, Twitch gold makers do not compete for viewers. In fact, doing the opposite and helping each other grow. Exactly. I think that is a philosophy that was fostered by Gumdrops initially. When I first saw the gold making community, that was my first experience about 2.5 years ago, when I first saw everyone coming together. And my aim is to continue that and carry on that tradition, because I think it is really nice to see how supportive everyone is. We're not in competition really with each other. Everyone has their time for gold making, and it's lovely to see everyone just sort of say, "Oh, I found this. Here's an exciting thing," and just sharing as much information as they can. I did live in Germany. That does help. Exactly. Yes. Even though I haven't spoken German for a long time. Actually just started multi-boxing. Very bad at it so far. I think it would take a lot of my concentration to do multi-boxing. Takes a little getting used to, but won't long for its second nature. Yes, and Farmer True is definitely a testimony to mass multi-boxing, certainly. Flinny, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. And Zeki, did I miss your follow from earlier? But if I did, I do apologise. But thank you for stopping by. Talking to the microphone, if you lean over to read it, it trails off. Okay, thank you, Mushy. It does seem to be a bit more sensitive today. I wonder if some of the settings have changed slightly. I'll try and make sure that my mouse stays the same sort of size, distance away from it, hopefully. And Seekers, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. You have so much, so you go on a stream of gold making in German to help you learn it again. Yes. Who's the main gold maker? I've forgotten. It's Gold Goblin Net. That's it. I had a memory blank then. He streams entirely in German, but a lovely streamer nonetheless. You're afraid of multi-boxing. Fear in the future any non-multi-boxers cannot actually reach good profits. I'm not sure whether it will ever get to that stage, Kerb, because it's not for everyone, and there's quite a big barrier to entry in the terms of having multiple accounts and then using software like Icebox. It does make it easier, but I don't think it's going to be for everyone's tastes, much in the same way that gold making isn't for everyone. There are many people who like hardcore raiders, so I think there will always be a slot for different people in the game. I don't think it will ever be a case where you have to multi-box to make gold. Does the Goblin Racial give you a discount on the Longboy? No, it doesn't, because it's not a faction NPC. So there's basically just a flat cost for it. Oh, thank you very much. I got an extra emote there from Lizelle. Thank you for your sub. And also, I've now got my right arm, which is even better, my right shrug. So I've got the left and the right. So thank you very much, Lizelle. I've been waiting for that one. Thank you very much. Let me see if I can find my left and my right arms. I've got them somewhere. Where are the seasonal ones? They're recently used. Oh, there we go. Oh no, that's the wrong way round. Hold on. I'm terrible at emotes. Hold on. Let's try this. Shrug left. And then that and shrug right. There we go. Something like that. Thank you very much for the sub. It's really kind of you for the support. Very kind of you. Although I've got having my extra arm in there doesn't really help, does it? Landkey, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a lovely evening so far. We're just going through the Wowhead blog at the moment. So we were talking about prep for 8.3. I listed off a whole load of enchants that have sold well for me in the past year that hopefully other people could sell and find useful for 8.3 when it comes up for everyone who wants to level. There's also shoulder enchants and leg armor and threads, but I don't seem to see them selling as much. And then obviously there's the big thing about crafted PvP gear coming up, so the uncanny gear we've talked about a fair amount on the stream. We did recently find out that the Black Empire gear the catch-up gear that's a bit like benthic gear has just been buffed to 410 and 415. So the uncanny gear is eye level 400, and so this is going to be another 10 to 15 eye levels higher than that. Unfortunately, you sell some of the a lot of the inscription items. Okay, Mushy, that's good to know. Good evening, Happiest. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're having a lovely evening so far. We're just going through the Wowhead blog at the moment, talking about uncanny gear. So I'm of the firm belief that because Notorious gear wasn't as good as the benthic gear, and Notorious gear is still selling, particularly now, because I think people tend to have used up all their mana pearls, and I think with 8.3, with everyone leveling their alts and things with the new allied races, I still think there's going to be a demand for the uncanny gear for fresh 120s. So I'm thinking that actually will still be okay with sales of this. It may be disappointing. It does take a fair amount of expulsum and things like that at various stages, so you may get not so great sales at various times, but I've got a feeling it will even out over time. But the uncanny gear does have to drop. You can't just buy it from a vendor, and sometimes people are impatient. Oh yes, do you mean not the uncanny? Do you mean the Black Empire gear? That could be, yeah, that could be a difference. That could be the difference, definitely. The one and only Sidwar, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Been watching me on YouTube for several months and love my streams. Not only very helpful, but chill attitudes makes you happy. Thanks so much. Oh, you're more than welcome to self, and thank you very much for your sub. That's really kind of you. Your guild killed Mythic Ashara right now. Oh, excellent. Congratulations, Derb. That's amazing. And got benthic. That's not good. Yes, the Black Empire one, yeah. Can you get Black Empire weapons? Oh, I'm not sure about those, actually. That could be an interesting one. Midnight Hawk, how are you? Good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. Let me just make sure I'm not AFK. There we go. Where's my window gone? There it is. Okay. The drops from Assault and Visions, so the things everybody will do. So they will drop quite frequently, I think. You just got all your alts into your bank guild. Any tips on how to optimize this? Many didn't have a shared place for profession mats. Well, that's the thing. I just use mine for storage really more than anything else. I tend to keep each profession has its own storage of mats, and then I use, if I want to transfer or I've stocked up on big amounts of things, then I use the guild bank for it really. Hath, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Let me just make that window a little bit bigger because I'm struggling to read the text in there. There we go. You didn't see weapons, so let's hope. Yeah, fingers crossed, because crafted weapons will still be good. And also, one of the unfortunate things is you can still make uncanny cloaks, which is not really going to be much use, as we've now got the Rathian cloak coming in. So I'm not really sure whether I'm going to... I used to get some really good sales with the cloaks, because any class could use them. Whereas now, everyone's going to have their own specific cloak, so maybe the tailoring sales might get a bit less than they were. Good thing to do is have a pot of gold everyone has access to. Well, I hadn't actually thought of from the gold point of view, because if ever anyone on my, of all my alts, whenever anyone needs anything, I usually just mail them the gold, but yeah, I mean, that could be good to have as like a central guild gold storage, definitely. The cloaks might still be good for lazy arts, true, but I've got a feeling the Rathian starting quest will probably give us that cloak quite early on, a bit like the Najatar starting gave us quite a good weapon straight away. But time will tell. You don't know for sure. So then I was thinking, instead of, as well as crafted gear, in terms of what kind of raw mats is anyone actually saving up for at the moment. Things like the azinithid, your anchorweed, your ore, all the things that people might be wanting, because obviously people are going to be using these horrific visions, and they'll want to do the best they can, so they will be using consumables, I'm assuming. Jimsy says hi. Thank you very much for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. I think the cloak is one of the first things you do, so it would be good thing for alts, because you need to have the cloak to do the vision. Yeah, I've got that's my take on it as well, Game Cat. I've got a feeling it's going to be something that you're going to have straight away, a bit like the Heart of Azeroth. It looks like Cookie's around, but no Oreo as of yet. So my thoughts here on sort of the raw mats that might be available. People are going to be looking for things, so they might be looking to craft things, and so therefore they might need the raw materials to make those things. And I've got a feeling that the price of all of these kind of core BfA items are going to see some either spikes and some floods of the market as well. So there may be opportunities to buy them up cheaply as well. Time spray is probably also one of the most important things to get for Expulsum. Yes, exactly. I've got Time Spray here on the list for that very reason, because of the bracer shuffle and it being used in chance. That's my main thoughts, definitely. Yeah, for the Expulsum. US Blizzard would increase the mailbox to be more than 50 items at a time. It would be an awesome quality of life change. Well, you're in luck, Sislord Bane, because according to Billis and Nixia, in the PTR, the mailbox size has been increased to 100, as well as the fact that they are also condensing auctions of the same thing into one mail. So say you bought a whole load of Tide Spray, that would all, rather than being lots of single ones of Tide Spray, that would be one large Tide Spray chunk in one mail. So there's definitely going to be some mailbox improvements, making their stock on Expulsum, definitely. The craft for tailoring doesn't need them. Yes, because tailoring itself doesn't need them, but you do need it for the Expulsum, basically. Saving restocking right now, just hope it pays off in 8.3. I'm assuming you mean there. You did it, and the prices went down on your server. I think that's an option. Definitely, they will go down as people who have been saving up will flood the market, especially with the 8.3 auction house being so much easier. And I think a lot of people who say don't use TSM and don't know market prices will just be throwing their items on. So there may be some really good opportunities once 8.3 comes out to actually make a bit of gold in just buying up the cheap materials, because the people who use TSM or the Undermine Journal will at least have an idea as to the market prices. Piero, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. One thing that on the PTR that will not make it on the live is the near instant sale mail. It still takes 60 minutes. Yes, I did read them. They did say that, didn't they, Gumdrops? That it was only a temporary measure at the moment. Let me just make sure I'm not away at the moment. There we go. Hey, Wild Cody, how are you? I've been live for 57 minutes already. Wow, that time is flying by. We're just currently talking about the Wowhead blog, so I'm going to carry on talking through this, and then we'll go through, and I've got a load of expired auctions to sort out. So we'll go over on to my alts after that. So there was also an interesting post on the on Reddit this week. So someone bought some items. I think this was 60 stacks of Unbridled Fury at a really, really cheap price. Now, obviously these were mistakenly posted up as a price per item rather than a price per stack. And so what do you do when it's clearly a mistake? You know, what are your options? What are your gold making ethics? And there were a load of different varied responses on the Reddit post. And I think it very much depends on the interaction between you and the other person. Do they contact you and say, oh, look, I made a mistake, could I have it back? Or do they not contact you at all? or are you proactive and do you say, look, this is obviously a mistake, you might want to adjust your pricings, here, have the stuff back? It was a very interesting ethics question, and there's lots of very interesting responses on the Reddit. So kind of like, I'm open to the floor. What kind of things would people do if you got something for a really good deal that was obviously a mistake, like it was obviously a figure in the wrong place, or it was supposed to be a price per item and it ended up being the price per stack? What would you do in that situation? I mean, personally, this is a gold making game. I don't aim to make gold off of people's mistakes per se, but that said, people do make mistakes or do price things low, and you don't know exactly whether it's a mistake or not. You're all for option number 3. That's exactly what I was going to say where I'm at, and that's what I've done in the past. I've had this in Classic as well. Whenever I sniped an item, and then someone messaged me straight away, said, wow, you bought that quickly, and I immediately returned to them and said, would you like it back? You're more than welcome to. If someone's contacted me, and then I would always offer it back personally. If someone asks and is nice about it, you've given stuff back. Yeah, I think it's lovely to see that everyone's kind of like in the same sort of middling ballpark is how I like to think of it. Yeah, a lot withdrew with caveat attitude. We've had rude messages about it. There is that as well. It all depends on the attitude, doesn't it? Mistakes happen. If someone asks, I give it back. And what I'd want if someone to do if it was you. Exactly. And this is the other strange thing, is I know I've sold things for a ridiculously low price, but the weird thing was I never even bothered to ask for it back, because I thought, okay, well, lesson learned. I've sold rich purple silk shirts for 5 gold or 8 gold when I meant to sell them for 5,000 gold. And I just thought, okay, well, that was my mistake. I set up my TSM operations wrong, and that's fair game. But, if it's a different situation, and the gold is really important to you, you never know, really. You've been on the other end of the mistakes to know how it feels. Exactly. So it was an interesting topic to see everyone's responses. Certainly, you posted things for nothing too. You just move on and probably give the person a smile on their face. Exactly. I guess it depends on how important that is to you. Is it all of your gold, and you've just made a big mistake? In which case, I'd be more desperate to get that back. But when you're in a position as a gold maker, when you've got lots of diversity and lots of different options, it probably means less to you losing it than it would to someone else. Your friend got a mythic cloak that was currently worth 1.5 million. He put it up for 150k, missing a 0. He called him a donut. But that got sniped by TSM. Asked very politely, and I was just super rude back, saying thanks for the gold. Even made a point to send a screenshot of selling it for 1.2 million afterwards. Yeah, I think that's my general philosophy in life. Is you don't really need to be that like that, and I do hope that that's in the minority of people's attitude, because it is a game, but I don't think it's really necessary to rub people's faces in it. Certainly. Oh, hello, thank you very much for the host. Very kind of you. I actually bought a green unobtainable for 1 million before. It was quick buying Arcana with a scroll wheel. You never noticed till you bought it. Yes, there is that as well. What you can do, though, is you can, in your TSM settings now, help me out, Gumdrops, if I get this wrong. I did hear that there is a limit you can put on when you're buying things. Now, where would it be? I've never used it myself, but I know it's here somewhere. Auctioning, confirm complete. It's not that one. Whitelisted players. It's not that one. Am I going to choose channel points at some point? It's in the shopping settings. Okay, thank you, Gumnuts. There we go. Shopping. There we go. Confirmation alert. you can put this in here. So show confirmation alert if buyout is above the alert price. So you can turn this on, and you can say, okay, you can set it to a fixed gold value or something like that, just to give you a kind of a warning checkbox, just in case you buy something for a lot more gold and you didn't intend to. I feel like you're surrounded by wealth in this channel. Well, I don't have a huge amount on me at the moment, but we're happy to share at least our techniques, if nothing else. So yes, with channel points, I did apply for the because Mushy pointed this out to me the other week, and I've put my name down to get the channel points, but I think it's still in open beta at the moment with Twitch. So when it does become available to me, I'll certainly look to putting it in. You always use /exact now. Seems a good addition though. Yes, it's a nice bit of safeguarding, certainly. Right, let's just move around a bit. There we go. So that was the ethics topic, and this was pointed out to me last week on stream by Handlebar Walrus, and so he did a really good video on explaining the guild process. So if you weren't in the stream last week, this was all about using Guild Finder to add your own alts into your guild without having to rely on somebody else being an officer in your guild or having a second account to be able to recruit your own alts into your guild. So if you haven't looked at this, I do recommend going and have a check at this video, and it will make it a lot easier for adding all your alts into your guild, certainly. Oh, you put yours down as well, Aleph, did you? You see in your creator dashboard the date yours is available on your stream. Mine says tomorrow on the 16th. Oh, right, okay, so I might have a date on it as well. Okay, let me have a look, see if I can find that. Oh, I turned my dashboard off actually. Let's make a new, whoops, that's not what I want to do. Hold on, Windows going everywhere. That's what I want to do. Let's make a new tab. I'll have a quick look now. I have to make this a bit smaller though. Actually, I can't see that because that's on there. Let me go onto my dashboard. Let's have a look here there. Is 16th the rollout for everyone? Okay, so it won't be long at all then. Let me have a look. Community channel points. Channel points will be available to your channel December the 16th. Yes, it says the same for me. So that's actually tomorrow. So it's not long at all. That's fantastic. You've been on the waiting list for quite some time. Okay, well that's good to know. Thanks for sharing that. And what server am I playing on? I am on Shadowsong on EU. What am I going to call them? I don't know actually. I haven't thought about it. I'm open to suggestions if people want to either let me know in Discord or on here. Oreo points. Oreos straight in there. I think gummy beans. Yeah, I think Oreos is a good one. Or beards. It's a shame Oreo's not here. He could add his vote in there. Sam Clams. Although I don't do much in the way of sort of crustacean activities, so that might not be as much. Could also just be gold. Yeah, that's another one. Some good ideas there. Ingredients, yeah, because of the chef's hat. Or coins, yeah, you do have that. Talking of coins, I know Qyune has Qyune coins at the moment. And that brings us segueing quite smoothly into a case study of Qyune's gold making methods at the moment. He's been doing the Broodsaw challenge in his own unique way, which has been quite refreshing to see how someone who wants to approach it from a very much simpler methodology, and he's done this with his token challenges in the past, where he's been going through and trying to make enough for one token each month in order to pay for game time, and putting in a few different sort of assumptions or restrictions onto it as well. Clams is slang for money in some place in the world. Oh, right, okay. That makes sense. Oreo poor points. I like that one. Lots of good suggestions there, though, so once it does come live, I'll have a think of what we could call it. You have loyalty points already called Chinese. Trying to figure out what to call your channel points too. Yeah, I mean, I did... What did I have? I did have originally, when I set up Streamlabs, I did have some sort of currency. It was called... I called it tokens, I think. But I have no idea if it's still a thing or it works. Oh, there we go, currency. In terms of currency, it does seem to be one I've got on at the moment in terms of points, but I don't think it's possibly set up or anything at the moment. Yeah, it's just a local one. I don't think that's quite set up correctly. It's something I never really bothered to look into, to be honest. Red Lucy, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Happy Gold. Yes, that's a good one. You mentioned a spreadsheet for tracking the Longboy Gold. Cannot seem to locate it. Yes, let me see if I can find that for you. I'll bring it over here. And it was in... which was one of the blogs recently. Let me have a look and see if I can find it myself. White Vans and Bakchanka, thank you very much for the follows. And we've also just had a sale of some Silkweave satchels, which is fantastic. So doubly there. Moolah. It will be on the Discord. Yes, there was that one as well, wasn't there? Let me just have a look though. I have got this here somewhere. Go to Google Sheets, and then we'll go in there on me. It'll be one of my recent ones. And then, oh, that's really small. That's not my accounting ones. Brutosaur before extinction. This one. This was the sheet. So I'll copy and paste that link into the chat there. So hopefully you should be able to take a copy of that one, and you'll be able to get that one. Interesting Rose, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. You changed the icon, which is fun. Just now to figure out another name. You sure we'll figure it all out. Yeah, we'll definitely have some good fun with that one, definitely. So yeah, you're more than welcome to take a copy of this. It starts on the 24th of the 11th, obviously, which was nearly coming up for a month ago now. So you'll have to probably change the date here to be something a bit more specific to your needs. And then I've got it going all the way to the end date of the end of August 2020. Obviously, feel free to put in your own values for that. It's fairly simple math that I've used here. Nothing too sort of like complex. Not like some of the other spreadsheets I've seen. But that's always available for people if you want it. Waldron, thank you very much for the follow. It's going up. Thanks very much to the Wowhead blog, Mr. Dismember. It's a crazy number indeed. I'm very grateful for it, for all of your company tonight. It's very much appreciated. No problem. You're more than welcome to take that and adapt it to your own needs, certainly. So, yes, we were talking about Qyune and his methods. So, it's really interesting to watch him go through, because his main focus would be, say, start on with a level 1 character, and then the main focus there would be to, oh, Wallyflops, thank you very much for using your Prime. Very much appreciated. And also, thank you for the emote that I've also got from there. Thank you very much indeed. It's very kind of you. Let's see a whole load of everything in the chat for you. Thank you for using your Prime. Do I think dual crafters are handicapped for making gold in 8.3 now that sockets will be pretty rare? Well, I don't know how well this whole being able to put a socket into things device that you can buy now, how rare that's going to be. It's going to be interesting. Dual crafters, yes, may find it difficult. I've yet to start my dual crafting as a profession, so once I have it, I'll know more about it. But it's definitely going to be interesting. You need to make at least 10k a day to make it. That sounds entirely doable, Lepsy Lentil. I think that's certainly it's pretty expensive. The currency is used for a lot of other things. Okay, Thor. So yes, it was as I probably thought. Then it could be quite difficult in that case as a dual crafter. I wonder if there's much else you can make. Maybe your gold making as a dual crafter might be better made into prospecting, perhaps. I don't know. It doesn't make gold on current stuff, at least not for you. You can make mounts and pets, exactly, depending on the server. Yes, I mean, going back to the old world, panthers as well and things like that. It's not a profession I'm fully familiar with yet. The emphasis on yet, because once I do have a dual crafter, then certainly I'll know a bit more about it and be able to say exactly how profitable it is on Shadowsong for me anyway. But one of the things that Qyune isn't doing is any professions, in fact. 14 long boys. Might have to give that spreadsheet a go. Wow, okay. That is a lot, Farmer True. Very interesting to see you achieve that, though. That's brilliant if you do. You lot plays. Wow. Thank you very much for the follow. Love the name. I hope you're doing well. So yes, we're talking about Qyune and how he goes from starting from level 1. So he'll go through and he'll level up the character first and foremost, because once you're level 120, so much opens up to you. He's assuming not using any alts, no prior knowledge of gold making, and he set a limit of an average of 2 hours a day game time, which is quite generous, to be honest. Not everyone will have 2 hours game time, but maybe you'll be able to spend a bit of time longer than that at the weekend. He doesn't flip, but he does allow himself to buy the cheap stuff. That is true. We talked about that on Friday, that he will look at the prices. Once he starts to get to know the price of certain things in his server, if he does see them going for a cheap price, then there's obviously it makes complete common sense to just buy that and repost it on. I mean, I will always do that when I'm looking at my shopping lists, and I'll go, oh, that's definitely a cheap price, I'll buy that. So it's doing the same thing. The prices go down fast, at least on your server. That seems to be the case with dual crafting at the moment. I think Flips and Riverbud was super happy about it. Yes. I can imagine it's kind of like it's that initial sort of like start into this kind of like the more serious gold making methods. But the good thing is that this method does work, and he's proved it works by his graph, where he's already hit the 1 million mark already after sort of just over a month of playing, and that included leveling up to 120. The thing to bear in mind with this is it is really, really helpful, because he does most of his gold is farming up herbs and ore using mining and herbalism. Nox TV, thank you very much for the follow. I've watched my YouTube videos for some time now. I have to say thank you for all the TSM tips, helped you out a lot. Well, you're more than welcome. You lot plays well. Actually, pretty decent most of the time. Might log your main and sell the 400 you have. Oh, what was that? Did I miss something earlier? Thing on the server. Might have missed all the original part of that conversation. TSM tips support you here too. So do more. Of course, Flops, I'll do as much as I can. I'll get out of this cave and then you can post it on. Did I use a multi-boxing method? I have not multi-boxed myself personally. I know a lot of gold makers do, including many that are on in the chat now at the moment. Oh, Thoughtful Love, thank you very much for the follow. It is a perfectly valid way of scaling up your gold making, but it is also achievable on one character, as myself and Qyune do, as our main gold making methods is we have, well, in my case I do have quite a few alts. Qyune has lots and lots of characters, but with his long boy challenge he's focusing on the one character. You missed right now there's 0 gilded gilded seaweave on Taran Mill. Ouch, that's a tricky one. Use an alt army. Yes, alt armies is definitely my preferred method to go to with professions at this stage, because I'd really like to get to know every single profession and be able to sort of share my knowledge on all the professions. And I'm still missing a lot at the moment, but stuff not available. Yes, I think people are stocking up. I wonder if people are going to be overstocking. Maybe there's going to be a massive crash come 8.3 and we'll be able to scoop up some of the things that people have put too much on. It's going to be some very interesting times, I know, when 8.3 comes out, especially with the new auction house, so I'm very much interested to see how it pans out, certainly. But just to wrap up what I was saying on Qyune, pretty much his methods are very solid and dependable, which is a very good way to get yourself into gold making. So if you don't follow Qyune, I'll put a shout out on the chat. So basically, I do recommend you go give Qyune a follow, because he streams very frequently, so you can always catch him on. He's very similar to myself in terms of doing a calm, almost Bob Ross-like stream. So I highly recommend him. A lot of people stocking up on Taran Mill. People are streaming themselves doing it as well. Almost all day, he does indeed. He does many hours. There we go. Lots of Qyune Bob Rosses in the chat. In fact, I should do, where is it? We'll do Qyune's one, and then we'll do mine one with less hair. There we go. What do I think about the new Vantis runes? Expect them to sell like hotcakes. Hope I'm not wrong. I haven't looked into them yet, GigaRex. It's an interesting one. Is this the new... who hears on Taran Mill? Lots of people, I think. Character in Lord of the Rings, Sam reminds me of. Forget the name now. I'm not sure. It could be Boromir when I got my hair down. Although my beard's a bit bigger than his. But when I let and I've probably got more receding hair than Sean Bean has. I'm around that 10k a day limit though, and one thing you found that worked for me is 1 hour of Oldham Mount Farm a day, and you get around 4 to 5 liquid gold. Over the course of a week you get enough linen cloth to make a nice tidy profit during doing the shuffle and converting expulsum to bags, etc. That sounds like a very solid methodology, Skatari. I like that, definitely. By 10k a day limit, I mean you need 10k a day for the long boy. Yeah, that sounds entirely achievable, and you're using a good, consistent method to do it. Definitely worth it. I've gone AFK again. Let me just jump in the air. Right, so that pretty much wraps up the economy blog as it stands at the moment. If you do have any comments and or any suggestions for any future blog entries, be sure to put them in the comments on either on the Wowhead site itself, or send me a message on either Twitch or on YouTube, or here on Twitch, or on Twitter, or on my Discord. There's so many different channels to remember, or even on Instagram. There's so many different ways you can contact me. But that pretty much wraps it up from this point, and then we'll move on to my regular gold making, where I'll go through my the scrapbook add-on tip has been a huge help. Oh, fantastic! Is that easy scrap? Yeah, that's a very, very good one. That one, definitely recommend it. No, but right, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Right, so where was I in my gold making? I think I opened most of the things that we had here and relisted them, but we do have some sales here which we can go through. And the one made by Billis is best. Yes, because that one actually gives you he records all the statistics of what you've scrapped as well. I added that one in there as well. You've never tried farming tide spray. How much should you expect to farm over the course of 1 hour with a good group? I assume there's 2x4 tide spray farms. There should be. I haven't done it myself in a long time, but from looking at someone like Taliesin, when he streamed doing it, I think getting around 1,000 tide spray in an hour, or should be about right. Oh, there you go. Skatara's got you with 800 to 1,000 an hour. Yeah, data printout if you want it right. Exactly. Why do I use a priest as a gold making character? Because priest is my first character. This is the character I started with in vanilla. Way back when I started playing World of Warcraft. Samadan was my first character and has been my main character pretty much throughout my entire time playing World of Warcraft. It's only in this past couple of years that I've made more alts, as I wanted to do more professions and things like that. Is there likely to be new feast or food in 8.3? There is new food, but it's not specifically any different than the feasts. It's all to do with giving you more sanity, or doing things that help you in your horrific visions. And there's 2 new fish, and there's a new meat, questionable meat as well. Dalton William, happy to finally catch me on stream. Thanks for all the work you do for the gold-making community. You're more than welcome. Got me into more than a year ago. Currently reaching 1 million a month in profit. That's fantastic. That's exactly the kind of position I like to be in as well. Do I consider ever farming the Vial of the Sands recipe? That is something I would like to do on my Druid Awakening, certainly. That's another thing that I would like to add to my string, really. What's my /played? Let's have a look. /played is currently 99 days, 9 hours and 30 minutes. And time played this level is 17 days. So I've actually, spent a lot of my time, a lot more of my time has been spent in Legion and BfA. A mil a month is definitely a good position to be in. I hope to do that once I get myself more professions going. Talking of sales, we do have a few here at the moment. Silkweave satchels, enchants have gone down in price. I did a pretty massive reset on them on reset day on Wednesday, and managed to sell a few. You can see here I managed to sell a few at a much higher price. Machinist Brilliance for 2,500, Force Multipliers at 1,000, Accords of Critical Striker had at 1,000. So I had a really good run of that just for a day or so. So I've got 35,000 on Samadan here at the moment. So I'll open all those up and go through those. Most of it's basically done by Vial of the Sands and posting every crafting profession on a mid-pop server. Yeah, that would be what I would like to do as well. Oh, we have this one as well, which I didn't respond to in the end. Because you watch YouTube videos, I'll respond to that one off stream, I think. Shuffle post linked by want to buy gold. Yes, that's right. It's always nice to see people sending me messages in game. Vial of Sands is about 70,000 here. Wow, that's pretty good. I know Midnight Hawk sells the Vial of Sands here on Shadow Song. I don't know what kind of sales you get on it on this particular server. That was the enchant reset because was that enchant reset because you messed up your TSM operation and posted a bunch of enchants about half market rights on them only. Oh, this is you, the real Jin, isn't it? This is your message. I did respond to it earlier, didn't I? Oh, we also have. Where is it? Where's my camera? We have an Oreo with us now. He's come to join us. That giant reset because you messed up your TSM operation bonus chance about half market. I don't think it was yours. I literally just went through and I went through all the main enchants. I managed to get them at decent prices still at the moment. Versatile Navigation, Machinist Brilliance is a decent one here. Deadly Navigation's gone down a bit, as has Accord of Critical Strike, but Accord of Haste is here at 1,000 as well. Yeah, we have an Oreo with us now. Let me just adjust his camera. Oh no, he's going to fall over. There we go. Let's just have a moment with Oreo for a moment. Hold on. There we go. He's enjoying some affection. I don't think the camera's quite focused on the front here. It needs to focus a bit closer. There we go. He purrs so loudly though. There we go. We have an Oreo. 7 kilos of fluff. Fluff Morn Hungers. There we go. He is such a cutie. He's such a scaredy cat, unfortunately. Cookie, the other cat, bullies him. So he's a gentle giant, certainly. There we go. He's settled down a bit closer now. You just send podcasts. Turn on some podcasts and go for it. Yeah, when it comes to farming, yes. It's a lovely thing to have on in the background, certainly. Rachel125, thank you very much for the follow. 7 kilograms, yeah, he's a big boy, is Oreo. He's pretty heavy. I think he's got part Maine Coon in him or something like that. Muffalakin, thank you also for the follow. Hope you're doing well. Or Shara Vale, that's a good herb to farm as well. Yeah, some of the Cataclysm ones are definitely good ones to go for. Right, I'm going to have taken my hand off Oreo now, so he's going to pester me for cuddles. So we'll carry on through here. And one to you, thank you also for the follow. Look, interesting how everyone comes in since I've done the Oreo full screen camera. Your dog is only 1.5 kilos. That's fantastic. Badan Beaver, thank you also for the follow. Thank you all for coming by and welcome to the Oreo stream. It's basically just Oreo time now. We'll just keep him here. There we go. We'll just have Oreo on camera now. And Wally Flops, thank you also for the follow. Sam yelping, we blame the paws from Oreo. Yeah, he does like to stick his claws into my knee. Don't you, Oreo? He's such a cutie. I don't think the camera can quite focus on him quite as close as we are at the moment. There we go. Your dog's about 50 kilos. That's a good size for a dog, certainly. Oh, he's going to roll over. Oh no, he's going for my knees now. Hold on. Ow, that's my knees, Oreo. There we go. Yeah, I think our dog was, I don't know how much she was, kilo-wise. I can't remember exactly. But she was like medium-sized, or collie-sized. So she was a decent size. Ow, 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 that's my knee. There we go. I have to stroke him and play the game at the same time. There we go. Yours is 6.5 kilos. Yeah, that's definitely. Yours is 5 kilos. That's definitely it. Yeah, that's a pretty good size. I think Cookie, who is the bully cat, she's the one that chases Oreo around the house. She's only 4.5 kilos, so she's a lot slighter. But it's Oreo that's the gentle giant. I think I ought to change my alts in a moment and to just check everyone else. As long as Oreo doesn't get my legs too much. Sorry, Oreo, that really hurts. Let me check my other characters and relist their auctions as well. So we're going to go and have a look at Awakening and see how Alchemy's doing. Your girls are 2 and 3 kilos. Oh, okay. That's pretty tiny. Pretty slight, certainly. Alright, okay, Oreo, are you going to let me move my hand off the keyboard this time? Or keep my hand on the keyboard and move it off the off the strokes. Right, okay, so let's have a look at Awakening. Has a few sales, nothing too massive. That's because I haven't had a Silas proc in a while. So Dimitri's Draft, Unbridled Fury, Lightfoot Potion, and Superior Empowered Proximity. So a few different bits and pieces. We'll open up all of those, and the next thing we really need to do is see if we can get ourselves a Silas proc with any luck. No, not today. Transportation we are today. Okay, here's your weekly card flip. Week 3 of documenting. So far, opened 26,000 cards, a total of 128,000 gold, and an average gold per card being 4 gold profit. The week trying to stock your alts for the whole year of daily crafting in their banks, but only got 8 out of 25 alts. That's a lot of alts, 25 alts. Not been that many herbs under 1 gold this week, so either more people are buying or less is selling WOD herbs. Yeah, I mean, WOD herbs can be so cheap because they're so easy to get hold of, but it's very interesting numbers. Very interested to see how you come out at the end of that one. But it's good to see. Thank you for sharing your numbers. Ow, there's my leg again. Right, oh, we do actually have some sales here coming in. Greater Flask of the Undertow. That's another sort of 22,000 coming in. So that's going to be interesting. I'll leave everything else on as it is at the moment, and we'll go and check out other characters. We can always come back in an hour's time and see if we can get another proc that's different this time. We'll move on through the characters though. So next is Erfan. We'll have a look at him, and he should hopefully have 1 or 2 notorious sales and maybe some Drums of Fury if I'm lucky. But we'll have a look. I haven't given him some serious attention this week, so we'll see how that goes. CUX2, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. How's my Christmas shopping going? It's doing alright, thank you very much. I've got pretty much most of the things I want to get. A few other bits and pieces to get over the next few days. And Marioko Gellenberg, thank you for the follow. And Caramel P, thank you also for the follow. Oh, we have some expires here, so let's deal with those. We'll take all these off. Did I get Dottie? I have not yet, actually. That reminds me, I must do that. Oh, this is going quite slowly because we're in Borealis at the moment. There's also a plush version of Dottie as well, isn't there? I might have to give that a go. Right, okay, let's do a reload on this. See what's on the other half of the mailbox. And then we'll have a look. Oh, we can't buy that. Is it US only? Oh, that's a shame. Discrimination of Europeans again. I think it's mainly a supply thing, really, isn't it? Okay, so we do have a couple of notorious sales, but they're actually tiny in comparison to the coarse leather gauntlets selling for 1,200. That's an amazing price for that. And then obviously, yes, we've got some Drums of Fury here as well. So 4,000 gold on you. That's reasonable. Let's get the rest of that stuff on. We're not going to sell anything at that stage. Dottie's the how ship a container to France and put them on Amazon. That could be an interesting sideline once you get through all the customs things. Definitely. But you get the Murderous on the shipping and custom piece. Yeah, I think that's the main problem, isn't it? The shipping and customs. Right, let's get all of these on first and foremost, and then we can look at restocking on Erfan. See how that goes. 18 euros for packing. Wow. I guess the other option is to befriend someone in America and get them to buy it for you. I haven't played since Wrath of the Lich King, so it's a bit hard to get into the gold making and retail. The classic is much easier. It is certainly if you're thinking Wrath of the Lich King level sort of where WoW was at, certainly. But Classic I love for being so much simpler, definitely. Does anyone use the Roots add-on? You reinstalled it last night, after a long time not using it, but doesn't seem to register GatherMate 2 and GatherMate 2 data being installed. It should do, Midnight Hawk. I have it on Waycrest. I can show you my setup there in a moment. Let me just go through this and we'll jump back onto Awakening. I just want to check how much do we need to restock on here in terms of things. We've got a few. Yeah, we've got the coarse leather gauntlets, 20 drums of fury, and some male arm guards will do that. You ended up costing 120 Canadian dollars with shipping and customs. Wow, that is expensive. But Roots is certainly it does work with GatherMate 2. I wonder if there's just like a tick box or something that it hasn't got hold of. I'll have a look at my settings in a moment after I've crafted all of these and made ourselves some Notorious Combatant male arm guards. I do have a fair amount of Expulsum on Earthen and Samadan, so I'm hoping with the extra tie spray I've got, if I can process that this week, then hopefully I should be in a good position for 8.3. Obviously I've still got a couple of weeks of playtime to work on it, at least a month maybe, perhaps. We don't know exactly when 8.3 is coming out. My guess is sometime mid-January, I think would be a good point for it to come out. So that's quite cheap, 255 for the male arm guards. They only cost me 125 to make, so that still is a profit, so I don't mind that for the moment. Sold 6 stacks of 20 star moss for 1k each because of the world quest yesterday. Very nice indeed. Getting American goods in Canada is pricey, despite how close you are. Yeah, I'm surprised at that. I thought it would be much cheaper. It does surprise me. But I guess yes, customs is the main killer there. So I'll just go here and we'll have a look at Roots very quickly. Oh, I should have done it on Earthen actually. Not Earthen, El Morte. He does a lot of stuff in the Jade Forest with the mine working and things like that. But we'll have a look and see how it goes here. Any of my herbalists really. Let's try and do that quest and park your Brutal and portable mailbox to encourage people to buy them. Park your Brutal and do a portable mailbox to encourage people to buy them. That's not a bad idea actually. Here you can buy it. I'll provide you with the with everything you need. What am I doing here? I am looking at Roots. So /Roots, and then so if I go into my Roots, if I've got one here like Elwyn Forest herbs, if we add an extra one in, let's have a look. Do I have one? Let's look at, say, Suramar and Starlight Rose, if we were to do something like that. So if I /Roots, and then we'll add a root in, Starlight Rose, click OK. So it should select sources of data, should automatically be recognized because I've got them all here: GatherMate 2, Handy Notes and Gatherer. So if you don't have those with a tick box on it, obviously GatherMate 2 is the only one with a yellow tick box because that's the one I have. I don't have Gatherer and I don't have Handy Notes. When you click add, there's no tick boxes are there. Interesting. And so you select Starlight Rose, you select the zone. That doesn't change anything. Is there anything that I have changed in here? I don't think there is. Options, I don't think so. Maybe try, yeah, a complete uninstall and reinstall of all of them, like GatherMate 2, the data, and the and the roots and try and put them back in, because there's definitely a communication thing there that should just automatically come up, and then you can select whichever things you want to add in. But definitely give that a go. Have you imported the GatherMate 2 data? There could be that. If you go into your add-ons, no, not that one, system interface, add-ons, under GatherMate 2 and import, and then I click overwrite and then import GatherMate 2 data. I click on that and auto import. That could be a thing, but that's the only thing I've done differently. Don't think there's anything else I've done that's any different than a standard setup, really. But hopefully you can get that sorted. It's a nice little combination of add-ons, the three of them. Right, I better jump over to my other characters. I also had to uncheck Gatherer to get yours to work. Oh, interesting. Dreamwalker, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well this fine evening. We're just jumping through my characters at the moment, going through and just checking their mailboxes from the past few days, and relisting and restocking as I do. Have a play about. No problems, Midnight Hawk. Hopefully you get it sorted. Okay, on to El Morte, who I've been doing a little bit of, I did a couple of Korax battlegrounds. I'm up to level 87 at the moment, very nearly level 88, so I'm thinking of carrying on the levelling up of this character. I really want to get as many 120s as I can. So we have Expires here as well we need to deal with. Doesn't look like we have any sales at the moment though. I'm not sure what my situation is like on Living Steel, so we might have to restock on those. Is it still worth doing if you don't win? Excuse me. Yeah, it certainly is. You don't get as much, but you certainly get XP as you're playing the game, so definitely worth it. The next comp stomp is first in the start of March. Is it really that? Is it really that late? I haven't looked up when the next one is. I guess looking at the calendar will be the best option on that point. Tried doing it twice yesterday, lost both times, but didn't appear to get any real XP versus regular questing. Oh really? Okay. Oh, it's April the 1st. Okay. Wow. That is a while ago, definitely. What level do you recommend starting? I believe it should be anything from level 60 onwards. Is supposed to give good XP. I'm level 87 here, and I got some good XP that way. No joke. Every 12 weeks. That's a long time. I wish it was more frequent. So did we have some living steel? Oh, we did have some living steel, so that's good. Don't need to restock on any of that just yet. Most add-ons got profiles to export these days. Easy to reconfigure all, and it cleans up loads of useless data from expansion updates. Yeah, I think over time anything can get really bloated, can't it, in terms of its data. Gives 3% per minute to be inside, 50% for a loss, and 100% a level for a total win. Okay, so at least getting that extra 50% on the win is definitely worth it. You've saved up 100 honour tokens, that's really good. I've been doing the Soldier of Our Time as well as the comp stomp when I did have it, so that was a decent amount. Mazel tov, how are you? Thanks for stopping in. How are you and your family? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by. How's your Sunday so far? For the recipes, to be sure, I think 100's a good number. I've certainly got enough for Samadan and enough for Earthen, but any new characters I don't have yet. Need 102 for blacksmithing, jewel crafting, tailoring and enchanting. That's a relaxer for sure. Oh, fantastic, that's good to hear. And then moving on, we have Stabadan. He hasn't really done a lot much yet, other than trying to make a bit of gold on the side. But we also have, you'll notice here, Nadamas is now my Horde character who's level 20. So Anti-Samadan is my character that I've got for playing with my son, who's just got himself a level 120, and I've got him herbalism and mining, which is really handy for a character that hasn't got access to the other side of gold making for my other characters. Feels really good to have that prepared, yeah, definitely. And Bedpan Bob, thank you very much for the follow. You've done Corax runs on a Druid now, started 74 and a half, and you're now hit 93, played 14 games and won 2 of them. That's pretty decent. And Chan, thank you very much also for the follow. So we've got a couple of things we could do here in terms of, I want to level more characters up to 120. We don't really have anything extensive on Nadamas in terms of professions, and Stabadan is working on his inscription, but the Nada means nothing more in Spanish, link in the name. That's brilliant. It was literally Samadan backwards, but that's brilliant. Especially as you still hate PvP. Yeah. However, I've never seen you before. You're watching Gold Farmers all the time. Hello, by the way. Jimmy says hi, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. I hope you're doing well. Well, it's good to have you here. It's always a question of time zones, I think, sometimes, especially with Twitch, because I very rarely get to catch some of the streamers who are very active, and they are just simply on a different time zone when I'm regularly busy with either sleeping or not so much working, but say travelling or spending time with my family. So it's very easy to miss certain time slots. That's very kind of you to say, Lizelle. Wowhead sent you here. Oh, excellent, Bedfan Bob. Thank you for coming by. And very good use of Italia emotes there. It's the most handsome fella if ever I saw one. So the main focus here with Stabadan is, in terms of gold making, I want him to get inscription. And so we have a number of herbs I've been collecting up. So I thought, okay, if I want inscription, I want this character to be fairly self-contained, because I didn't fancy, not that I didn't fancy it, I thought it would be a good idea to just see how well he could level up his inscription without borrowing a whole load of gold off of other characters. So what I've done is I've taken herbalism and I've leveled up. I've got some decent ranks in herbalism now. I've got myself up to rank 3 in all the main ones. Winter's Kiss is still missing, and Anchorweed I need to do a dungeon for, and Xenanthid I need to work on as well. If we look at that, I need to do some more drops there to get the rank 2 for Xenanthid. I haven't really done much Xenanthid at this stage. I've mainly been focusing on the regular ones. Lucy Fail, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Wellhead sent you here as well. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you as well. Thank you for coming on through. I hope you're having a lovely day so far. We're just talking about potential gold making methods. So at the moment, what I decided with Stabadan is actually, because I use Corax Revenge to level up mainly from 110 to 120, I haven't really done much of the storyline. And doing the storyline, especially when you've got flying, is a really good way of gaining a fair amount of gold. As well as, there's a good one here. There's an Alliance War effort we can do for 2,000 gold. That's definitely worth doing. Look time. Okay, Zanzibar. Well, thank you for stopping by, and hope to see you again soon. You checked BfA herb prices this week, and they're all below 5 gold each. Is it even worth herbing for the people who do that? I guess it's not as much as it could be at that level. For me, let's look at the herb prices as they are at the moment. So Siren's Pollen is 4 gold 50, Sea Stalk is 8 gold 80, Riverbud 690, Acunda's Bites way up there at 13 gold, Star Moss 9 gold, Winter's Kiss 4 gold 92. And then Zenithid obviously 27, and where's my anchor weed? There at 94 gold. As Lind 22 AD, how are you? Saw my description. Are you really sitting on the floor? Yes, I am indeed. And if I reach to my left, Oreo is sitting next to me here on the rug. Gold farm question. When can we get 2 million gold each in the chat? When I have 2 million to be able to give everyone, I would certainly do that, Mazel Tov. But with the number of viewers we have at the moment, I would have to be incredibly rich indeed. Will Blizzard remove the auction house mount? It's they won't remove it. They are moving it to the black market auction house, so it'll still be available, but obviously a lot harder to get hold of. But they have said they will remove it from the merchant when Shadowlands releases, and because we don't know when Shadowlands releases, it will probably be between, my guess will be sometimes between August and December next year, will be my main guess really. Any idea what to do with ultramarine ink? You're drowning in the stuff. I don't know, actually. Make tomes, Randall suggests. Thank you, Kabloom. Yes, Oreo is just chilled out at the moment. You can't really see him that easily because of his black fur. Certainly need to spend more time here. You got one of each class at 120, so you probably can make a few bucks out of it. You certainly can, because having professions is my preferred way of making gold, and I'm going to see what I can do with inscription on this character. We haven't quite leveled it up yet, but we're on our way. We have got ourselves a reasonable stock of a few herbs here. Winter's Kiss, a good amount of Siren's Pollen we bought fairly cheaply, although while that says an average purchase price of 8 gold 18, that must have been on Awakening. But the thing I've been doing with this character is going through and collecting up all the storyline quests, which has been really handy. Just going through the storyline and collecting the gold whilst doing that. So things I would do at this stage, looking at this, I've got the Alliance War Effort Emissary to do for 2,000 gold. That would over double my gold that I've got at the moment, so that would be a very useful thing to do. You can make most gold from inscription from the Legion patterns. Yeah, I would like to get over to the Legion side. I want to do the BfA side first, but then the Legion stuff, as you suggested, to buy all the herbs below 8 gold, wasn't it, on the Legion side. But I'll get to there at that point once I'm there. Pay 1,000 gold for your soul. Almost exclusively a wardcraft at the moment. It is really weird how some professions are good in certain categories, certainly. You don't feel you can sell anything at the moment. Well, there's certainly a niche somewhere. It's just a question of finding it. Osberg, good evening to you. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by. So I'm going to decide what to do here with Stabadan. We could carry on leveling my herbalism. Like we could do a dungeon for the anchor weed. We could go over and do these do the Alliance War Effort. That would certainly be useful. I think in terms of efficiency, let's have a look. What do I need to do in terms of the dungeon? Let me just have another look at that one. So anchor weed, we needed the seeking more knowledge, which was one of the ones in here, was Waycrest Manor we needed to do, seeking more knowledge. So we could, if there were people on EU Alliance in the chat who are willing to do the dungeon with me, we could maybe do a dungeon together and get ourselves the herbalism technique anchorweed rank 2, if anyone is interested in that. Do I have alchemy to do the anchorweed daily cooldown? I do have on Awakening. I would like to level up my other alchemist, El Morte, and get him up to level 120 as well, and he can do the daily cooldown as well, because that will be definitely worth it. The more I have, the better, really. But the other option, I guess, I could do a, if I was to take this as a non-streamer, I could do an LFG on the dungeon. I could do that off stream, though. That'd be quite easy. You have 4 alchemists for the transmutes. Yeah, I think it's a good idea, because you make, how much does it cost you to make to buy the herbs? You need 5 of each, and then you get 10 anchor weed back. So it's definitely a good price hike in them. You have 70 of them. Wow, it's definitely worth it. That's loads. Right, we'll do. I'll do a quick check if anyone does want to join in. If anyone is up for doing, who is on Alliance and EU. Oh, didn't mean to turn that on. We'll turn that off. We'll have a look, and I will set up a pre-made group, dungeons. I will start a group, and we will do Waycrest Manor on heroic, and we will do Stabadan. We'll call it Stabadan, and I'll list the group up. So if anyone does want to join me on a heroic Waycrest Manor, they're more than welcome. You're already shaking your head to stay awake. No problems, Mushy. That's absolutely fine. Most herbs are about 3 gold right now, so a cheap way to get the anchor weed. Yeah, that definitely is. Is the anchor weed proportionally cheaper because the herbs are that cheap? If I was Horde, yes. Well, we do have a Horde on Nadamas, so that is an option actually. I do have herbalism on Nadamas that I need to level up as well, so that is always an option as well. But the other option we could do here actually is I could try this as you're lying sick, else you would reattack. Oh, thank you, Feels Batman. It's kind of you to say so. Right now, 70 to 90 gold. That's a good price, definitely. Oh, did I just miss one there? Did it just come in at the end? We have one. There we go. Wow, a level 417 tank. Welcome aboard. Give you a moment. Let me hop to your healer. Oh, very, very kind of you. It'll be good to have some people in. Let me just move this down here so I can see everything there. 417 isn't high enough. That's plenty high enough compared to where I am. Oh, and a healer as well. Thank you very much. You're 15k short of a token, but you have 8 days to get it. So I'll have the money when you wake up tomorrow morning. Oh, it's a nice feeling to have, isn't it? /B. Welcome. So what I could do is I could do the rest as looking for group for this. That should fill the other gaps, I think. Beautiful charts you use for the monthly reviews of your gold making done completely myself, or does TSM have some better export option than the basic one? When you export your sales data, it all ends up in one bubble in Excel. Well, Excel should be able to do it because it's done as comma separated values. So it should separate everything in different commas, and you should be able to get in and split out all the different things that way. I do have a YouTube video that goes through the whole process that I do of making all of those bits and pieces. Let me see if I can find it. I don't think I have it easily to hand, but if you go onto, oh, I've got 2 here. I will go with the DPS, if that's okay, rather than the healer. But thank you everyone for joining in. That's very kind of you. I'll take that. Maximum number of members for the activity will now be delisted. Okay, so thank you very much everyone. That's very kind of you for helping out on this one. We'll go and have a look. Let me just get myself over to the correct place. Where are we? We are going in the right direction. Number 2, which is over this direction somewhere. We'll go and do this one. And thank you, Zorginhaldix. Thank you very much for the follow. I'm just going to work my way over here. LCR, hi Sam, big fan, coming from YouTube. Hi Pop server, will you recommend to sell Anchorweed, or how will you rather go for the flasks when the raid is released? I think Anchorweed is a good thing. Doing the transmute as we were talking about earlier. Let me just turn this down here. Let's go. More couches there. Good luck. Oh well, thank you very much. It was very kind of you all. Sorry I couldn't invite all of you in. Alright, here we are, Waycrest Manor. Should be over here at the moment. Now, I do apologise if I am less active in chat as I do this. My concentration whilst doing a dungeon and trying not to die is going to be interesting, to say the least. Right, let me just do this. Does anyone need a set to heroic? Have we got this set to heroic? Dungeon difficulty is set to heroic. Yep, we're all good on that front. Does anyone need... let me just move this down. I need to move the group over here, and then I need to hide that, so I need to turn that onto raid frames. Hold on. Interface. Raid profiles. Use raid style. Click OK, and then return to game. So I've got that on the side, that should work. So you don't have to travel there. I could have done Mushy. I'm unfamiliar with doing this frequently, so I did miss out on that one, unfortunately. Reinstalling the game never hurts. What was that for? If a corrupted install. Oh yeah, that's not a bad idea actually. Sash reload suggestion you offered. Logic behind backup. When does it back up? You lost your profile 3 times this week. Goes blank. Yeah, it should work. I have no target. Have we got everyone in? Let me just have a look. You're inside. Okay. Is everyone? Do we have friendly players on? There we go. Could do with having friendly nameplates on. There we go. If everyone is in, there she goes. Have a look. Might know how to force a TSM back out. Okay. Oh, I've got lots of things here. Questionably epic dungeon tips. Forgot I had that. We might need to keep an eye on that. Okay, we'll just wait for our last member to come in, and then we should be done. This should be interesting. As a rogue, I've never really done. It backs up the second you log out. Yes, I've got mine set to back up every half an hour. You can set the time in the settings to be a certain amount of time. I did have it set to every 2 hours, but I found that wasn't frequent enough for my liking. Oh, the stream is about 30 seconds behind you for you. It's very confusing. I can imagine that. Let's try and do that as best we can then. I'll follow your leads and I'll try and do a little bit of damage as best I can. I'll try and join in. And just press a few buttons and hope that we can do a little bit of damage, hopefully. We want to get ourselves off to the end. I need to make sure that I don't run out of everyone. I haven't done this dungeon in a little while actually, so it will be interesting. Updated settings should be good. Oh, fantastic. Hold top.
Heroes, your strength is needed. We must see this evil brought to an end.
We'll investigate the grounds while you dispatch her servants. Good hunting.
The thing with this is everything's dying so quickly I can't get to press my keys quickly enough. We'll do our best. And I'll try not to stand in anything too that's going to kill me too quickly. Will be the main key things here, really. They're melting it. They certainly are. I think everything is just dying quickly. I feel like my contribution is paltry at best, so thank you all for carrying me through this dungeon. Cryptexers, how are you? Hope you're doing well. You need an app on your desktop for TSM to be able to post items, right? You do for it to get the market data, certainly. Alright, we need to do the right ones at the right time, don't we? There we go. Nope, that's the wrong one. We'll do this one instead. I've got to stand on that one. Oh, come over to you. Oh, looks like I ought to stand out of the way of that. Change targets to this. I'm just kind of mashing my keys at this stage. I could really do with my interrupt on a decent keybind. That would help. Because these are, I really need an MMO mouse, really, if I'm going to be doing this properly. Like proper playing of the game. Because at the moment, just mashing the keys doesn't help at all. But, well, there we go. V is always your interrupt. That's a good idea, actually. Where's V? Oh yeah, that's just by my thumb. The problem is my keyboard I have here isn't a very good keyboard for touch typing. It's a very compact keyboard. So I'd be better off with. I was looking at the Razer Tartarus as a potential sort of like left-hand replacement. I think that would be quite useful for me. Has everything gone already? Oh, yeah, got some gold. Gold is always useful. There we go. And Braxion, thank you very much for the follow. R is always your interrupt, and Shift F is your big cooldowns. Okay. The Ducky 65% keyboard seems to be the perfect middle ground for you. Ah, yes, the Ducky then, that's what they call 65%, isn't it? The thing with me is, because of my work, I like to have the numpad as well. So I do like a full-size keyboard. This isn't a full-size keyboard. Excuse me. Oh, get out of the way of that. Oh dear. One moment. Just joking. Oh, I do apologise. Big fan of the Microsoft Sidewinder. Ah, cool. Strongly recommend Razer or Weaver. There we go, Matron. Have one you got in 2012. It's best game professional you had. Sloth so much. No choking live stream. I know, it's a terrible situation. Do that, press that. Maybe I can do a few different keybinds here. Why do we need to vanish? I don't think we need to vanish, but I'll do it anyway. And finishing move, hopefully. Do a little bit of extra damage, hopefully. That should help. And just disappearing everywhere. Press 3, press 4, just mash the keys. Try and stay alive, and that should be good. Don't know the name of the skills add-on. It is called Hekili, Hekili, and it recommends me all the things to press, which I'm completely ignoring at the moment. Now, where did everyone go? Oh, they went over this way. Here they are. God, that's a lot of things in here. Okay, let's see if we can do a little bit of extra. Oh, and my game's frozen. Okay, let's just wait for that to come back. Hopefully it'll be fine. No skills needed. Oh, and then when my computer refreshes, everything is dead. Perfect. That's the best add-on ever. Yeah, there we go, we'll do all of these instead. I'll press those and press that a lot. Helps if I face the correct way. There we go. Now, anything fancy we need to do here? We'll jump in and we'll press the buttons. Press that. That's a good one. And I'll keep pressing that. I think I should probably be out of that green stuff. That would be a bad thing. Let's do a finishing move there. There we go, move out there. It's difficult to see what's bad on the floor when you're in all of this junk point at the moment. So let's move out of the way here. And I can move over to this side. And that should be easy. No pockets to pick, that's obvious from this point of view. Lots of vile oozlings. And then he is dead very quickly. There we go. Yeah, it's a very handy add-on. Use it on new characters to help you learn the best way. And I found it's been really good for my rogue playstyle, certainly. Just knowing what to press. And I've got my cooldowns here on the right, which is where I think a mouse with multiple buttons on the right-hand side would be good for those kind of cooldowns. And then something like the Razor or something like that, or I've seen some other brands as well that are really good for my left hand, and I think that will have me in a much better position rather than this keyboard situation that I'm in at the moment, which is not ideal for being able to touch type and touch press each of the things. But that's a future investment, because obviously it's quite a few $100s to get everything there. Oh, what did I miss there? I can do the same. You tell me to spec, you don't know. Yeah, exactly. Do I get the recipe off the pig boss? That sells very well. I don't think I did. Do I need any special spot for the recipe? I think it is... Yeah, it is around here somewhere. Once we've... a treatise on anchorweed. Yeah, that's the one. There it is, over there. But we might as well finish the dungeon as well. Yeah, it's just before the end of this. So let's go press a few more buttons. There we go. Let's go over here. I think it's this here. Treatise on anchorweed. There we go. Using the power of jumping up and down to help point in the right direction. It's always fantastic. Cool. Get out of the way of that. And then this facing the wrong way doesn't help. Go over there, and they're dead already. It looks like Oreo's stretching to go away. So we'll just do that and that. I'll turn Oreo's camera off at the moment, so we've got a bit more real estate. I'm sure Oreo's going to have a little bit of food and then he'll come back. But then we can finish off with a little bit of in here somewhere, if I can find everything. There we go. I need to press the right button for those. And then we'll do all of this. Allweaver gives a lot of freedom on where you have your gaming hand. I just have a cheap keyboard for typing and the other one for playing. Much smaller, so it's way more comfortable. Allweaver's more range on the wrist than the Tartarus. Okay, thank you, Dressing Rose.
How is this possible?
There we go. There's Gorak Tool. That's a lovely emote. Right one too. Alright, okay. Do this, press that, click that, then get all those going, and then we can do forward and that. The first hint about Shadowlands was given here. Oh, that's cool. It's nice that Blizzard do all that stuff as part of the game. I really like that. Listen to his last words. Okay, we'll have a listen. Death cannot hold me. Yes, indeed.
We cannot allow Gorak Tool to cross into our world.
I await you.
Every horror
That's brilliant. Well done, everyone. That was incredibly fast.
and I will hold them here.
and we managed to pick up everything quite quickly. I got my thing, thank you very much. We have the treaties on Anchorweed. Waycrest Signet and Blight Token. I don't think those are actually for me, but thank you anyway. Very kind of you. I'll wait you in the blighted lands. Interesting. Well, thank you all. That was super quick. I think if we half out, that should be done. And I'll go back to the Snug Harbour Inn. Oh, I lost my typing there. One moment, we'll come back to that. Thank you all for carrying me. There we go. That's brilliant. Thank you all. That's actually brilliant. And we'll put Oreo's camera back on. He's come back. Also, somewhere around Wowhead will play a big role in the next expansion, supposedly. Somewhere around Wowhead, he will play a big role in the next expansion. Interesting, interesting. No problem. Glad to help. So thank you all. I'll leave the group. So thank you very much. That was very, very useful. So now we can go and hand that in. So we'll go over here and we'll get our Anchorweed rank 2 over here. And we'll pick this up, Seeking More Knowledge, a treatise on Anchorweed, and we'll get Anchorweed rank 2. Fantastic. So I wonder what we need for Anchorweed rank 3. From looking at this, more anchor pods, Tear Guard Sound, so gather Anchorweed more effectively. So I imagine that will just be something else we'll pick up in our adventures. There's various other things we can do here. I'm sure it's been mentioned, been said, but how ridiculous is Ultra Valley? 2 levels per round, and it takes like 15 minutes, requires no effort. The Drust is connected to the phase zone. Ooh, okay, interesting. I love all this lore stuff. It's not something I'm particularly familiar with, other than watching other people who are more knowledgeable in this than me. You're a classic player. Is retail actually any good? It's a very, very different game. While it flops, I really like retail for the fact that there's just so much to it. There's 15 years worth of content, and the current end game for me, certainly from the gold making side of things, is a lot of fun. There's a lot of things, a lot of choice, a lot you can do. Whereas classic, I also love for a very different reason, because of its simplicity, and also I like the way as a priest I can just literally just focus on just a few key spells. As you could see me doing that dungeon, I'm terrible at playing, and I just end up mashing the keys. Whereas with a priest, I felt like in classic I was very specific as to what I was pressing. If you can find one in the UK, the Naga 2014 left-handed might be perfect. For my actual right hand, Healbot is the best healing add-on. If you can find a shop that has it, yeah, I may have to look on somewhere like CEX. The newer versions might get there in 2020. Yeah, as a Mistweaver main, you'll totally choose Ardenweald. I think with Shadowlands, it's going to be the expansion of the 4 mains, in that sense that I can't see myself playing one. I want to see all the storyline and all the covenants, so I'm going to have 4 main characters is my plan, and each of them is going to choose a different covenant. Finally got it working. Click through the add-on website, and others had some issues to copy and paste some of the coding in the add-on files, and now it works. Okay, fantastic. Glad you found a solution. Oh, I thought I said playing left-handed mouse. No, I'm right-handed, but I must have confused my words. I mean having the keyboard thing in my left hand and then the mouse in my right hand. Ah, Dave, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're having a lovely Sunday so far. We're just talking about different sort of mouse methods at the moment, things like the Razor Orb Weaver and stuff like that. Also, I'm getting my knee completely clawed by my cat. Cleat is better than Healbot, uses regular unit frames. Oh, I haven't used Cleat before actually. Does decursive still working? It does for me, yeah. I have it here. I use it on Samadan, and it all comes up, and I just click on any of the red boxes if I need to. You're a lefty and only use a keyboard for typing. Used Healbot since Burning Crusade and love it. Made a lot of skin changes to it though, so it looks like stone tablets, and love the way you have tank, healer, DPS sorted. Yes, I did use Healbot for a while. I don't know why specifically I changed over to Voodoo. I find Voodoo quite nice in its setup. It's a little bit clunky in terms of profiles and things like that. And I don't feel like I've got it completely set up, because I'd like to see more icons in the actual window itself. Click and decursive, both great. Not sure you'd play well without Healbot. Yeah, any of those addings as a healer, definitely. Orio's just looking up at me lovingly, trying to get me to stroke him. I'm sorry, Oreo. There we go. He's back. Okay. Ow, ow, that's my knee. That's my knee. Sorry, Oreo. Okay, so thinking about things in terms of gold making for... Ow, there goes my knee again. For Stabadan here. So he has 1,600 gold. So my next immediate thought here, to get myself some more gold, would be to go over and do the Alliance War effort for 2,000 gold. That's really quick to do, especially as I have flying. So we'll go over and do that and see how quickly that is actually possible on my character here. Oreo wants attention, he does. He is literally, I don't know if you can see it, hold on, he's just pawing me, but also my knee, which is just here next to him. He's just completely clawing it at the same time. There he goes. His paw on my knee, ow, and then his claws come out. He is beautiful, but he's also upside down at the moment. Morning coffee, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. I'm going to try and do this at the same time as losing my knee. And we'll go through here and we'll get ourselves over to Zoldazar and we'll get this working. He's literally just needing my knee at the moment. Thank you, Oreo. I didn't need jeans anyway. I'm getting a claw massage. Yeah, hold on, let's just have a look. Oreo full screen. That is my knee. He's just gently kneading, waiting for me to stroke him. Bless him. He's a lovely cat, but his claws don't half hurt sometimes. Really need to get your button gear with your last 4 monks before Wednesday. Has a Wintervale event, Here is the Storm, and you really want to farm the loot boxes. So close to all items collected in the game, mostly thanks to WoW tokens, so that's awesome, fantastic. How about some thick leather pants? I think I need that. I need some coarse leather barding or something on my legs. What's this one is in Zandalar or occupied warfront zones. Okay, so we can do some easy ones over here. So let's do a Hex Priest one. That'll be an easy start. Let's go over and do this whilst we're here. Kaisi, thank you very much for the follow. Thanks for stopping by. Have I got... Oh yes, I've got Herbalism on at the moment. How can you set a price for Expulsum, and how much would you set it for? That all depends on how you get your Expulsum. If you're using something like the Bracelet Super Shuffle, I have a whole spreadsheet that goes through all the details of that, which is pretty complex. because it's using a very specific method of getting the expulsum. You could look at it very simply in terms of like the price it costs you. If say you're making tie spray linen braces, so look at the price of say about 7 or 8 tie spray linen braces. How much does it cost you to craft that? And the chances are you'll get 1 expulsum from there. So that's a rough ballpark. But when you're using the spreadsheet, it takes into account all the return materials, so the prices can be a lot less. You should only do an Oreo stream and get a lot of followers every time it's full cam of him. I do indeed, don't I? It must be the thumbnail that's coming through on Twitch. Right, how high do I need to go on here? Smallcast, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. I missed the start of the stream. I hope everything is okay. Everything is fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you for your company. Most welcome. Yeah, definitely. Every time I do an Oreo full screen. Oh, what did I miss there? Did you go there already? Where is this? Hex Priest slain. So where are you? Are you underneath here somewhere? You must be. There must be a underground entrance somewhere. Where is that? Are we lower? This is a really mountainous terrain. This is difficult to see. There should be a cave here or something, I'd expect. There, that looks like a cave. Let's go in here and start mashing some buttons. There we go. And interrupt that spell. Stay out of that big round thing. And it should be better. Move out of the way of that. And then come back in. There we go. And they're done. Ori at work. He is indeed. He's getting his follows. He just likes seeing his icon appear in the stream. I think that's what it must be. Okay, so that's one done. Anything that's just quickly kill something like this would also be good. So we'll head over this way. This was really good fun yesterday when my son got level 120, and I took him on my my Vial of the Sands mount that Midnight very kindly. Where is that? Are you underground somewhere as well? I don't like these underground ones. Now, where are you? Kiboku, where are you? Yeah, you're there. Oh, there you are. Now, how can I do this as a solo? Can I do enough damage would be the question. The thing would be to make sure I press the right buttons and make sure I heal myself at the right time. Seems to be doing all right so far. That was okay, that was quite quick. Captain Cookie in the Dead Mines drops a rolling pin mace mod. It would be your main mod kind of well worth with the hat. That's a good idea actually. I should try and go and farm that rolling pin. I think I did get it originally way back in vanilla, but obviously probably got rid of it due to the bag slots at the time. I don't want to do a pet. Ideally just something that's strange eggs investigated. I was thinking of something fairly quick. We've got 2 of these. Cycle of Life. I wonder what that one is for the Totolan Seekers. That could be useful. This one's not too bad. It's nearby, so we'll do that, and we'll go over somewhere else after this. Yeah, I have got the transmog that looks like a fish. That's quite good. Right, okay. Let's hide. Now, do you have pockets I can pick? Yes, you do. That's good. This will be also useful to do. I'll get a little bit of gold at the same time. Although these do seem to take a little while to kill. We should be alright though. A Sharon medallion. What's this? Take the medallion to collect a Kojo. Glowing azurite geode. Okay. That looks interesting. Whilst we're here though, let's go over here and free the Tortollans. And we'll do that. I'm sure I just did that one. Okay, and then can we pick this up? War banner. And then we'll do this. Where's my quest objectives for this? Hold on, am I doing something wrong here? Do I need to be further inside? We've not got a world quest objective here. Okay. The rogue didn't do the quest line. Yeah, I think I'm missing something here. I am kind of doing it and make gold from scratch. Yeah, I'm trying to make my inscription without... I want to at least get started on my inscription without using my other characters. This, for some reason, doesn't seem to be... I should have had some sort of progression percentage on that, but I don't seem to have one for some reason. So let me just move out of the way of that and try and do a different one, I think. That would be easier to do, I think, in this case. So I'll go on over here and do the cult one instead. Cut off potential. Let's do this one instead. Let's go this way. So whilst it would be much easier to use either my druid, who's got all the herbalism, or to use the gold from my other characters to level up inscription, I didn't want to sort of just throw gold at the problem. I wanted to think, okay, well, what would I do if this was my main character? How could I get started into gold making? And so I'm doing the sort of things that I would do normally just to try and build up some capital, because we only have about 1,300 gold on us at the moment. I've spent a fair amount of that on herbs already. And then, yes, there is old raids. That is another option. At the moment, I'm just going through and doing, well, I've frozen again, is I'm doing the emissaries, because that's a quick and easy 2,000 gold. Relatively. And I can do the herbalism at the same time, if I can get close enough. So, where's this world quest now? So, we need to poison them. Do we need to kill these or poison them? Hold on. There's no actual extra things appearing in here, which is really weird. I'd expect something here. Well, let me just kill a couple of these and see what happens. Bootslaw, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you're doing well. And we'll have a look at this. I got a blow dart item to hit them with. Ah, right, okay. You can borrow some gold if you're on... I can borrow some gold if you're on Taran Mill. Yeah, so I'm missing something here. Some sort of item or something like that. No, I don't need that. There is definitely something I'm missing here on my world quests. Because these have got the sparkly bits on them. But I'm not gaining anything in terms of... Maybe I don't have... Let me just minimise some of my quest lines, perhaps. You shoot them with a dart, but I don't appear to have the right dart. Because nothing's popped up here. Oh, we want to move out of the way of that, coming in here. Yeah, there's definitely something strange going on. I wonder, it might be something to do with my user interface and my number of my things here, but let's do a reload and see if anything does come in. There's definitely something strange there. Oh, Midnight, thank you very much for using your Prime. That's really really kind of you. Thank you for your support. Let's see a load of emotes for Midnight. Thank you very much indeed. That's super kind of you. Aha, yes, there we go. So now we've got the Naga attack, which we did have on And now we've got the cut-off potential. That's what we were looking at and what we were missing. So let's see what this is. Okay, poison dart. Okay, that seems to work. Thank you for that suggestion. I wouldn't have thought of that one, reloading the UI. And then we could also go back to the Naga attack for the same reason. Let's try this one over here. Beast darted. That seems to work all right. There's only 20% into that Naga attack though, so we can probably leave that and carry on further on. I tend to prefer the world quests that have kill one single thing, because they tend to be quicker, even though you've got a little bit of travel time with those. Let's do one of those over there. That's got 8 of them we need to do. We'll do this one over here. I'll do that. Gonna have to dart about 12 of them. Yeah, okay. Might come awkward, but my beard is absolutely gorgeous. No problem. Thank you very much. Very kind of you to say so. Arganth, wow, coming in there with your Prime. Thank you very much indeed. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. Thank you very much for your support. That really is appreciated. Haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? And those that don't follow Arganth, she's also a wonderful, lovely gold streamer. So go check her out as well. And Non-Stop CC, thank you very much for the follow. Very kind of you. Right, have we got enough yet? 7 of 8. 8 of 8, there we go. We'll need to just kill this one at the end. We'll do that one. Right, so we're done there. How are we doing on our map? So we've done 2 out of the 4. We were working on this. Oh, we need 1 Zanzalari Beastkeeper slain. We're missing something here. Okay. So you must be over here. Cut off potential. Where's the beast? Where's the beast slayer? Let's move out a little bit. I should be able to see something here somewhere. Keep darting them. Oh, he's one of them. Okay. Well, I don't have the sparkly bits on them anymore. What have we got here? Trapper cluster. Okay, well, let's try. Let's just keep doing it, see how it goes. So where's the beast person? Let's try a bull. See if that works. Oh, and he gets summoned. Okay. Let's keep darting them when they get summoned. Right. Okay. It doesn't exactly explain that very well in the quest log, which is slightly annoying. Let's try one of these. Aha, here he is. There we go. The Beastkeeper is here. So I would have given up on that one, or run around thinking about it. Okay, fantastic. Horrid quest description, yes, I think so. So let's go back, whilst we've got the Naga invaders, now that we've got the user interface working properly, we should be able to quickly do that. Once I've found some herbs here somewhere. Looks like a bit of a crowded area, so we'll avoid that for now. Drove you crazy earlier. Yeah, I can imagine exactly why. I haven't done many world quests over in this zone before. It's not somewhere where I've spent a lot of my time. I'm looking forward to spending a bit of time on Nadamas, my Horde character, and exploring the storyline in the war campaign, because I would like to do both sides. That would be really nice. So the main thing here is to pick up the things we need as we go. So we're thinking gold all the time. Gold and time, basically. Right, so we're at 20%, so let's go through to this one. Well, I might fit enough more than I can chew here. This could be bad. Well, if it gets too bad, I can try and vanish. Let's try and get one of these instead, because that seems to take a long time. Yeah, I think I'm going to vanish out of this. I think that was too much to take on one of those solo. I'm better off trying to do things in smaller chunks. He says smaller chunks and then takes on 4 murlocs at the same time. Probably not the best of ideas. I don't have an easy escape on this one, so we'll do what we can. Use our cooldowns, use our multiple attacks, and then thankfully Hakili is suggesting me a decent number of things to press and buttons to mash. We're up to 30%, so I think I'll just avoid those big things there. That obviously looks like a difficult thing to go for, so we'll avoid that. Start with a sorceress, I think. Oh, and that champion came in from nowhere. Hopefully this is all the ones that we're going to have. And then we can free these things that are nearby. Oh, we've got that brute nearby. Don't really want that to be doing anything at the same time. But we should... We're okay on health-wise at the moment. Unless we get knocked that way. And then we get the elite coming in here. Okay, so that wasn't helpful really. At all. Yeah, it does a lot more damage. So we'll see what we can do here. Obviously we should get a better... Right, we might need to do a bit of a heal at the same time here. Okay, it's slowly but surely working our way through. We've got him down to half health on all the bones. Use our stuns whilst we can. Finishing move. Ah, beautifully done. Fantastic. Okay, we're up to 61% there. So, free you at the same time. So apologies if I missed anything on chat there. That was a little bit hectic. Did the whole campaign today on your second druid, was a pain, but you think it's more detailed than the Alliance one. Yeah, I'm looking forward to having a look at the Horde side. The story for me is quite disjointed really, because I've only really seen things from watching other people, because I've never done any of the raids in the game, which is my main problem. Everything I've done is either watching the streams of others, in terms of like following the entire storyline further on. And Ted AP, thank you very much for the follow. Very kind of you. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by. We are currently just doing a little bit of gold making here by doing world quests for the 2000 gold. So this should not take me too long. All in all, hopefully. We're literally just running through, mashing keyboards as best we can. Being a bit late on our interrupts there, that's fine. We'll get there eventually. It's that doesn't really help. And that is another good thing to press. That does a lot, and we need to heal up a little bit here, because that would be a bad thing. I've got this Marauder on me at the moment. I need to get rid of the Dark Witch first though. And she's running away, that doesn't help. There we go, that one's finished, and then 7 seconds left on that. And we we should be okay there. 3, 2, 1 there, and heal on that, and then we'll collect up some herbs whilst we're here. 94%. This should almost get me enough. There we go. Okay. Okay, I love the joke. Okay, so handing those in Alliance War Effort will be back home, I believe. So let's find a good place to Hearthstone to that's safe. There's a whole load of herbs here we could possibly just pick up. Must be on the other side, I think, of this wall. Let's have a look. No. That's the weapon rack. I don't want that. What I wanted was herbs, but there we go. Let's do that one. And then we'll Hearthstone back. Okay, we've done that one. I'm on EU. If you ever did want to do the raids, I'm sure we could get a group to do them on normal. That would be good fun, just to run through them from a story perspective. So Oreo's just moved over here, and over there. There we are. He's stretched out, and on perfect cue. Okay, Oreo stretching time. That is one sleepy pussycat. He's completely flaked now. I mean, for someone who's such a scaredy cat, he's completely relaxed. Such a sleeping cat. There we go. Lovely to see him. Okay, so we've got that. We are currently on 1,800 gold with a load of junk here. And a few different bits and pieces. So we'll go hand in that quest. Get ourselves some good reputation as well at the same time. Let's move out the way. And then we'll go here. Alliance War Effort. So that's 2,000 gold there, and an extra 600 artifact power. Reputation wise, we're doing okay, considering we're at friendly with a couple. So we've still got a long way to go with the others. Obviously, we've not done any quests. That's the main thing here. So you have to locate your picks. Your older cat that passed a few years back looked just like Oreo. Oh yes, that'd be lovely to see right too if you find them. Lizelle, thank you very much for the follow. Very kind of you. I was expecting at least 3 follows there. Yes, exactly. Well, we did get one, so Oreo still works. It was a bit brief though, unfortunately. One does not really need to raid nowadays. Keys give enough gear. Exactly. So I kind of missed out on the whole raiding storyline progression. That was the only reason I'd want to do the raids, is to follow the storyline properly, because it's all a little bit fragmented. Hello Zaria, thank you very much for the follow. I really should put just Oreo on full cam, shouldn't I? Alright, so we'll sell the trash. That's all of that done. We've got a few different bits here that we picked up. A trinket that's 281. We should really scrap that for guaranteed expulsum. Not sure what I'd do with expulsum on inscription though. The crossbow though, that's got a good vendor sell price of 70 gold, so we'll sell that. And that's azurite, so that needs to be scrapped anyway, because I've already got something that I like as it is. So let's head over to the scrapper and scrap those 2 items. Oh, got stuck on the rigging, hold on, there we go. It's actually harder to raid. Everyone wants you over geared to raid, so you just like steamroll through it. Heroic drops 430, and you have to be 430 to be accepted. Yeah, that's a little bit strange, really, isn't it? Oh, we've not actually scrapped before, so we'll start the quest on that. That's easy enough to do. So we'll do that's the trinket. Add that in. We'll just queue those both, actually. That's the easiest way. And can we add in that armour as well? That shoulder, outrunner shoulder guards. Let's scrap these. See what we get out of it. So 1 guaranteed expulsum from that. The scrapped cloth from the quest. Calcified bone and tempest hide, which you can send on over to Earthen most likely. And let's finish that, and we get an extra couple of gold there as well. Okay, so there. Anonymous gifting a sub to Newervin. Thank you very much. Oh, actually, no. Anonymous is gifting lots of subs. Hold on. Gifted 5 subs. Wow, that's fantastic. Thank you very much. Anonymous, that's incredibly kind of you, whoever you are. Super, super kind of you. Curb, thank you very much. Have a great evening. It's actually rather find a good guild. Guild's not more. There's not mental about mythic raiding without drama. In your case, raids once, twice a week at the weekend. That certainly sounds good. Look at all those lovely emotes. That's fantastic. Thank you very much, Anonymous. Super duper kind of you. Thank you very much for your support and sharing your support amongst everyone else. Look at all those lovely emotes. That's awesome. Thank you. Oh, and there's a Blingtron over there. Another chance for some potential gold. Near impossible to get into pugs without being overgeared and such. Which is a shame, really. So let's go through this. Take the gift package. Do we have anything nice in here? The shield and that. So we can sell those to a vendor. Okay, we'll ignore that for the moment. Exactly, Darkwing. Right, so some of this stuff I think I should send over to Samadan, because that would be useful. And then we'll go over and we'll just check everything else. So what have I got here? Oh, I actually put these on as a transmog item that I picked up when I went into the Bastion of Twilight. I thought I'd try my hand at that. I didn't get very far because I got called away on something else. Bonnier and Tom Petty, thank you very much for the follows. Just earned your first 10k. Fantastic. You're on your way. Salah. That's brilliant. Deep Sea Saturn is 41 gold minimum on your server. Yeah, Deep Sea Saturn is crazy expensive. You're not that geared blue side, but you just got ahead of the curve EP today. Oh, fantastic. So hardly a top tier raider, but you're not terrible. That's fantastic. Congratulations on that one. Right, okay, so what last things would I do in terms of gold making potential here? So we've doubled our gold. We're at 3,982, which is a really good position to be in. So let's send some of this spare over to Samadan, because he'll appreciate that. And then the other things I've got, which is Tempest Hide, Calcified Bone, I can send to Earthen. I could set up a group to do all these automatically, but it's not something. Well, there's a hardened one there as well. I'll send those. And then I'll keep hold of everything else as well. The Owl's Eye and the Ore, because I might eventually want to be a dual crafter as well, I'll keep hold of those at this stage. That should be fine. It's like 5 gold on yours and 1.6 on yours. Wow, that is quite the difference, isn't it? That's amazing. Okay, one last thing. We'll go and just sell those bits that we've got there. Sell the trash, and we'll sell that. So we just tipped the 4,000 gold mark. So that's reasonable. We could probably do with listing that back on. I have got it as a transmog group. We'll just post that on now. It's only, if you're going to sell transmog, you need more than just one item on, but that's a good start anyway. Although the deposit cost is 8 gold 81, so that is something to bear in mind if you're going to do something like this. But that'll do for now, certainly. It's 2 gold for you, okay. Raiding's boring nowadays, too easy to do, normal and heroic, and there's literally no reason to raid after a month or two, which is a shame really. It would be nice if they sort of like upped the gear at what you got in return or something like that. Are your enchants also really cheap on those servers with Deep Sea Assassin at less than 5 gold? They could be. It all depends on the price of everything else, like Tide Spray and Coarse Leather and everything else, because they should sort of reflect that price. In terms of things I have, starter equipment, I don't think I need that now. I think I got rid of that. In terms of herbs, let's just have a look at what we could possibly afford. If there's any cheap bargains here. Oh, there's some siren's pollen for under 4 gold. That would be worth me buying up at this stage. And whilst I've got a little bit of gold on me, because we're going to be doing some milling and things like that. And Winter's Kiss is actually below 4 gold as well. So these are the sort of bargains that I'd want to look out for. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to buy that. And the Siren's Pollen, we'll take that at 3.99. And we'll also take the ones at 4 gold, whilst we've got those. So it's just spent 300 gold, so it's very easy to spend your gold doing this, especially when margins are so slim. Got your Speed Monk gear this weekend, farmed 300 items from Burning Crusade dungeons already. The past 2 days have sold for 2k each, so that's a start. That's very good indeed, Tristan Rose. Was inspired by What to Buy Gold's Speed Druid, but you made a monk because you liked them more. That's fair enough. I mean, yeah, I've seen that video from Reckles. It's really good about all the different speed boost things you can do. It's a really good idea. Right, so we're done here, and let's just pick up our purchases. So we're in a reasonable position. We have some herbs on us, which is a good start. We need to get more gold, so I will look at maybe doing a little bit more herbalism. I want to get inscription a bit further, so next week I'm going to look at doing a little bit more on leveling up inscription with the gold that I do have and the herbs that I do have. I'll probably record it on a video as I do it and then start the journey on that, much the same way as I did that alchemy series of getting started in alchemy. I'm going to do the same series here with Stabadan, getting started in inscription. So I'm going to make use of all of this stuff that I'm doing now and put it into a video and track my progress as I go. So that's going to be something to look forward to, but sadly I've actually run out of time for tonight, so I'm going to probably finish it up there. We do need to find someone we can throw a host on over to. Let's have a look who is on at the moment. Any of our favourite gold makers on at the moment? Well, the lovely Farmer True is actually doing some multi-boxing at the moment. As he was in the stream earlier, let's go check him out and have a look at his multi-boxing shenanigans. Chill 24 multi-boxing stream. But thank you all. As I wait for that to come through, thank you all for your lovely company tonight. It has been, oh my word, if you want to see multi-boxing in action, Farmer True has 24 going on at once, and it's quite the feast for the eyes, shall I say. But we'll go and give him a host as a way of saying hello. Movie is on too. 24, yes indeed. It's if you're interested in multi-boxing at all, this is how to do it. /host. Sure I type this right. True. There we go. Your PC can only handle 2 extra. I don't know what Mr. Potato 2.0 would handle. It'd be very interesting to try it out. But yes, I want to say a big massive thank you to everyone who's hung out in the stream tonight, and those that have come through the Wowhead blog. You're more than welcome here. I will be doing another Wowhead blog next week and streaming it at the same time, and in the course of that be also doing YouTube videos when I can, so either here or there. Hopefully I'll get some content out over to you. Your brain can't handle more than one indeed. So thank you all. From myself and Oreo, we wish you a very good night, a great rest of your week, and hopefully see you next weekend. So until then, let's send some love over to Farmer Tree. Good night and farewell.